stay conservative, run the ball here on third down.
Here's Richardson. He takes it in for his first NFL touchdown. And Pittman takes it inside the 20, the 10, towards the end zone. Touchdown on 2nd and 28. The Colts capitalize. Richardson to Pittman, 39 yards.
What's up, everybody? Good evening. It's a fun Saturday. We all just made it on. Man, I had to change a poopy diaper when I came on. I called it falafel butt because she tried some falafel tonight. So I figured she probably just like, I'm saying that that Mediterranean food just kind of kicked in,
Yeah, we took the kids out for some early Easter stuff. So they had a ball doing that pretty much for most of the day.
Hell yeah. Hey, so we're the crew. We're back like every Saturday night. Y'all love us. We're here. I haven't seen Chad in a while, and he's not in the comments yet. So
I want to say he showed up late last week.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He did.
Chad's record of being the first every week is about to get broken.
Yeah. So tonight we'll probably have some rants because I know I got some things to bitch about. We'll probably we're going to do our nice little mock draft, our annual mock draft that we do every year. And, everybody gets put in their input. So how's everybody doing tonight?
Chilling, bro. We're out here, man. I'm over here in a hotel in Georgia doing some schoolwork for my career, but good to be on with the boys.
It's good to have you back, Trev. We only get you every once in a blue moon, so it's good to have you back. I really love when we get everybody on the show, but it's good to have at least 4 of us there. So good to see some faces, man.
Yeah, I've been back on like special guest status lately, bro. I've been busy like every week.
Special guest.
Tune in this Saturday, 8:15.
For
Special
the one
guest,
and only, yeah.
Trev.
He's on once a month lately. But it's good
Sunday. New. Special guest Trev.
I like that, dude. I need to do my intros from now on.
That's probably about to be me soon. Yeah, I'm going to have to make you your own intro. Your own intro. He made it. Yep.
I know, man. I know.
Yeah, just do the Undertaker rising up from the grave and just photo shoot Trev.
I just took Trev out.
I just made it back, man. Don't take me out now.
I didn't think it would
just photocopy Trev there,
That's what we'll do. We'll just have a Trev mannequin, and on the weeks I can't make it, y'all just put me in there and have him say some stupid shit like I always do.
Hilarious.
Work out.
They need a 4x1 with one in the middle.
Yeah.
Might be able to. Can y'all still see yourselves or?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, this is what I'm about
I
to
see
do.
myself.
Add an item. All right, y'all go ahead and keep talking because I'm about to do this real quick.
But yeah, so let's get to the news that everybody wants to talk about. Obviously, it's been a huge thing for Colts Nation because plenty of us thought that we might have got our hands on L'Jarius Sneed. Conflicting reports from Destin Adams versus Stephen Holder, and had a bunch of conflict going on. As that closed out, we kind of thought that was dead, and then he ends up getting traded to our division rival Tennessee Titans. So as far as that goes, what was your guys' first thoughts and reaction to just not only seeing, I guess, him getting traded to our rival, but also seeing the compensation that the Chiefs got, and then also the price that he was paid by Tennessee, which is going to be it's a 3rd-round pick in 2025. It is a swap of 7th-round picks, and then they are paying him 4 years. I believe it was $77 million. 19. So 19.
It's like 50 something guaranteed. Yeah, 19 a year.
55 million guaranteed, which is 10 million higher than the next highest guaranteed cornerback. So where are you guys at with that?
So what I want to start off with is this, because a lot of fans are like, "Oh, Colts fans are going to be mad because we didn't go after Sneed," or all this different types of things. And I'm just going to say it like this to start it off. I don't care that we didn't get Sneed. That's where I sit at this point. I don't care that we didn't get Sneed. All I care about is that we still have yet to address the room. I feel like it was kind of a steal on the trade scenario. If I remember correctly, you said it was just a 2nd round next year. not even affecting
Third
this
round. Third round next year.
Yeah.
third round next year, which doesn't even affect this year's draft. So for me, he went pretty much. The Titans didn't give up anything to have him play for them next year.
Yep.
So it's essentially they just stole the man off of Kansas City's roster for the year. And then if we look at the contract numbers, it was kind of what I told you guys he was going to get. I think he got maybe a little bit more on the annual salary wise than I thought compared to the guaranteed money. Because I think I said 70 and he got 75. But
Right.
I mean, the man earned it. Everyone's like he's never been all pro, but that's fine. I mean, we got a bunch of players who missed all pro this year, but everybody wants to list them as top 5. So you can't be, contradicting about things. You know what I mean? That's just where I stand. And at the same time, I'm not really afraid to play against Snead.
Yeah,
I just wanted him.
like-
I just wanted him because I thought, hey, he would improve our room, but I don't know how much I'm really afraid to play against him.
So I think like the end all be all, it's not so much Snead, right? And the conversation has been Snead because of the rumors, but like we didn't go into this offseason going, man, all we need is L'Jarius Snead and we'll be good to go. We said we need to address the secondary. So the fact that still hasn't happened and that we're seeing other teams make these moves, that's what's frustrating. It's not so much that it wasn't L'Jarius Snead. We can live and die with that. That's fine. But I don't know. I kind of feel the same. I think they did overpay a little bit, but at the same time, not to be contradicting what I've said in the past, I would have been willing to make that same deal. So while I think it is a little bit of an overpay, I would have done it too. So, I mean, you can't blame them. It's a good deal for everybody all around.
I just have this thing where I'm really upset with the fact that Chris Ballard just seems like he's afraid to make a move.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people are like, Ballard likes his money, his draft pick, things like that. But you can't be a GM. It's like what Howie Roseman said, right? You can't be a GM and be afraid to, pretty much get fired or make a bad decision. Like you have to make those decisions. You have to have the cojones to make that choice and make that move that might be the wrong move. I mean, he made one years ago when he went for Buckner. Who would have known that when we traded the 13th pick for Buckner, that he would pan out to be what he is today? You just don't know that, especially with an interior defensive lineman, especially when we could have gotten a rookie defensive lineman that year at 13.
Who's not even with the 49ers anymore.
So you took a risk 7 years ago. I truly think that this could have been another year or another situation where you took another risk that could pan out. But I feel like for some reason he's afraid to make that risk.
Yeah, I think just going back to Snead specifically, there is a lot of risk inherent with him. I mean, he's had knee issues. He's 27, I think, and for cornerbacks, you want him a little bit younger, just because by the end of his 4-year contract, right, he's going to be 31. Like those guys start to lose their speed into their 30s typically. So I don't know. I get not taking the risk there, but I think we'd all like to see him make some kind of move, some kind of risk. Like, let's just show that we're pursuing something here to improve that room that we all know needs improvement.
What about you, Zach?
All I got to say is this is why Ballard's not a winner in my book, because, Matt, you're 100% correct. KC, Tennessee got that deal, got Snead on for a bargain. That's right up bargain bin Ballard, like triple B's, bargain bin Ballard. Like that's his motivation. And then, I would have made that deal. We had the money. I would have given him that exact same. But again, this is why I don't view Ballard as a winner and say the man is a one-trick pony. He only knows how to build through the draft because that's what he does. He doesn't make those moves. The only reason he, I believe, made that DeForest Buckner move because he knew there was no player in the draft that was good as DeForest Buckner. And the closest prospect, in my opinion, to come out of DeForest Buckner in college was last year, and that was Jalen Carter.
It was either trade that pick for D-Buck or go for Greenlaw, right? It was Greenlaw that year.
No,
Kinlaw.
Kinlaw.
Kinlaw, that's it. Kinlaw. I knew it was so.
To me, this just reaffirms what I've already said, and I don't even want to get into this rabbit hole. Like, Ballard is what he is, but going forward, I don't expect much from him. If he gets to the playoffs, he needs to be literally kissing Irsay's shoes and Shane's shoes for one, keeping him, and B, Shane getting him to the playoffs. That's it. That's all I got.
I mean, this is where I disagree a little bit. I don't think necessarily it'll be like kissing their shoes if we make it. I think I've said this in the group chat, but obviously I haven't been on the show for a little while. The way I'm looking at this whole offseason now is like Ballard put his cards on the table, right? This is the team he feels comfortable with going to the playoffs. And if they don't make it, you showed your cards. Like you put all your eggs in this basket that we have, which is all the guys he re-signed and the team that we already have that he's expecting to grow and progress, right? So if they don't make it and you put all your eggs in that basket, this is what it is. He's got to go. But, that's just where I'm at with him overall. Like, this is your hot seat season. If we make the playoffs and you were right, fair enough, you were right. We can stop bitching about Ballard. But if you were wrong and you missed this opportunity to make moves to improve the team, then you're not doing your job and it's time to go. That's where I'm at with him.
Here's my thing is I don't even think it's playoffs at this point. You know what I mean? Like, we can make the playoffs without winning the division. If you don't win the division, because you have 0 of those titles. We've made the division. We've made the playoffs twice. We have 0 division titles. 0. And you have done, in my opinion, yet in this free agency. Let's use the word yet because it's still free agency. The season doesn't start tomorrow. Yeah. I personally don't think the draft is where we essentially need to get better on the back end. I think that still needs to be veteran presence, which there's still veterans available that are good enough to make me happy if we sign them, right? Yep. And I would get off of Ballard's back completely if just that happened. Any of them. I really don't care who it is. But it's essentially the fact that like we have 0 division titles, and you have never done what you needed to do to improve the roster to compete within the division. You haven't. I mean, CJ Stroud lit us up last year, week 18, and people want to use the excuse that we had guys that were, hurt or on IR and things like that. And the only thing I got to say to that is that's crap because they've been starting since week 2, week 3. By the time week 18 rolled around, something should have gave and somebody should have improved. And if anything, they just looked worse than they did earlier in the season.
On top of that, too, it still would, in some way, it still is Ballard's fault there because if people go down and we have no one back there to back them up to be able to take the field and compete, he's the general manager. He brings those guys in, So yeah, if we're just super thin, that is also on him. It's not only his fault. There's other factors, but it's not like he's scot-free for it either. So, yeah, I tend to agree.
Right. But and this comment, I mean, yeah, he's been here 8 years. We made the playoff twice. To correct because we made it Andrew Luck and Phillip Rivers. I think everybody's on the same page as this, but I also don't think it's going to happen. I also don't. I wouldn't be surprised if he's here until Shane Steichen gets fired.
And it may be. I saw some comments like this too, where it's possible that Irsay views this as like it's a different era. You know what I mean? So, and I mean, it is a different era with Steichen as opposed to Reich and fucking Jeff Saturday. But it's possible that he just looks at it like renewed because now he's with Steichen. So he wants a couple years to see how that's going to play out before making a decision. But I know we as fans don't really see that because we felt like, Ballard, you've been here since freaking 2017. Like, let's go win something, man.
Yeah, man. It's a lot. It's why I like being able to come onto the show and have different group chats and everything, just to hear different opinions, so you can just kind of wrap your head around everything. I don't know how many viewers are in here right now that saw me and Zach going at it just last week about this whole situation and then all of this going down. So my first reaction was, oh, snap, the Titans are about to overpay like crazy. I see the compensation, the 3rd and the 7th swaps, and then the money. I immediately I get pretty irritated because everybody knows, like Matt has the BBB up there, Bargain Bin Ballard for the nickname. I would have figured that is the move that he would want to make.
Right.
That is the perfect bargain for a player. And I could give a damn less about the guarantees. Like, the guarantees don't really matter for me personally because a player is betting on themselves to get paid. So for me, that's out of the question. But we were talking about a second round pick.
Yeah.
Zach even thought it might have been high as a first round pick. And then we also thought we were going to make him the highest paid cornerback in the league, over $21 million. So the fact that it was
and we were fine with it.
Man, and the fact that it was $2 million less and a pick that's not even 2024. So not even this third round pick.
It doesn't even affect us this year.
Man, you get a whole year to watch this guy on your team, and then you give up another third round pick. You could then sit there and be like, hey, we messed up or we got it. Like it's basically like you're picking up a free agent. So I'm just calm back down a little bit. Because, it really started to piss me off when I got to that point. Yeah. And then I just see some other stuff come up, different things about his health, whatever, the money. And I just started to feel like I was really bamboozled by Ballard. Go ahead, Matt.
So my only thing about the health concerns about Snead is the trade compensation that Kansas City agreed to. Because we've drafted how many people while they were coming off major injuries? I'm not even talking small injuries. I'm talking Blackman was an ACL.
They didn't play, yeah.
He wasn't even supposed to play until like November, his rookie year. Yeah, he started playing.
Didn't play for weeks.
Yeah, I think Kwity Paye was injured.
Yep.
He had a hamstring.
So, clearly it hasn't been an issue.
Injury wasn't an issue when you're drafting these guys, but all of a sudden, when it comes down to a possible trade, now all of a sudden the previous injuries are a concern when you're not even giving up something that affects you essentially in 2024.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you really think we're going to have a cornerback within the first 3 rounds that's better than that guy, I tend to disagree, especially over the next 4-year period. To me, I would have made that deal. I would have made that deal easily. You're not getting a guy that's going to be at that level of play probably any point in the next 4 years. I mean, I could be wrong about that.
Ballard won't be here in 4 years to make that selection, so that's why I don't worry about it.
If it keeps going like this, then you're probably right, but
it's just crazy to me. Like this comment here, right? And this one is what I noticed on Twitter all year. And I'm sorry, DeMarco, it's covering your face with the way for some reason it does it on this camera view. But Rob here says a lot of Colts fans are so conditioned to the Colts not spending that they think it's normal practice. I'm just saying the Colts could have done what the Titans did. They signed back the nucleus of guys already on the team. Ballard needed to pull the string and just didn't. Having all this cap space means nothing, honestly.
Exactly,
and we literally talked about this the other day because I am starting to really believe that cap space just doesn't exist. It's not real. It's just a fancy term to make all the fans believe that it's trying to be fair across the board. But somehow, some way, teams who have no money are paying people massive amounts of money. The Browns paying Jerry Jeudy. Where in the hell did you get that money? Where? Because you were like at $3 million, and this year you're paying that dude $22 million. Like, where did you get that other 19 from? You know what I mean? Like, it's like Ballard didn't get invited to the big boy table. Like, essentially, he just missed the memo that, hey, you can just spend what you want. Just spend what you want. It's fine.
Yeah,
and it's just crazy to me.
And it's like every year and every offseason, we hear about it's usually presented as like a pro of Chris Ballard that, hey, we're always above the cap space. But cap space doesn't take the fucking field on Sundays. Like it doesn't do any good for us just sitting there and saving it for who? Like go spend that shit, get someone that's going to take the field and win game. Like that's the whole reason it's there. We're like 70 mil over the cap. Now I would want to say back to Rob's earlier comment, though, I am glad that we re-signed that nucleus. I've been staying on that every time. Like that was big for me to bring all those guys back, but we still had money to move around, and we still have that money to move around and make additions to the team, not just maintaining the team.
Yeah,
see, that's part of my problem.
This is part of my problem here, right? Because everybody's sitting here saying he builds through the draft. He hasn't built anything through the draft. He's been drafting for 8 seasons. We've made the playoff twice. So what is he building?
He's maintained through the draft.
A consistent. Everyone's saying it's a consistent. We've consistently competed. Okay, so losing games 22-19. Sure, we're competing, but we're losing.
Yeah.
Or going 8-9 or 9-8, missing the playoffs. But we competed every game in the regular season. That's fine. But we're still losing, and we're still not making the playoffs. So what are we building? A losing team. Yeah, you can draft and build a team, right? Essentially, you draft your quarterback, right? Because Ballard, to me, is now starting over because he's got his quarterback.
And a head coach.
and a head coach. But the thing is like that's what you're built. You get the core pieces: quarterback, wide receiver, a running
Pass
back,
rusher,
a
corner.
pass rusher, a corner, a linebacker, a defensive lineman. Short. Now you have your core. This should have been the offseason where you go out and you're like, hey, I'm going to go get some of these veterans who can, like DeMarco said last week, put us over the top.
Exactly.
You're
And
not building through the draft anymore. You have your core.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the issue that I have with it. Oh my bad, double switch.
I did
But yeah, so that's exactly where I'm at, because it's like I totally came into this thinking like this was going to be the year that we would finally see the change, and everybody said no, Ballard's going to keep doing what he's doing, and I thought it was going to be some differences. Although I will say what he said at the combine kind of changed my opinion on it, because I felt like this was what he was going to do, but I trusted his word at the end of the season presser, and to come out, and I'm thinking, like, I'm not even asking him to budge and spend a lot of money, as Paul's sitting here saying, he's building through the draft. Like, I thought he would come out and swing on a safety, swing on a corner, and that's it. And that's it. And if you would have sat to the draft, I would have been perfectly fine. But to continuously keep sitting here and doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, that's the definition of insanity. And like, it's like we're just waiting until it's proved to be correct. So it's like we're gonna keep being mid every year. like what are we doing? And albeit he got the pass for quarterback for so long.
Yep.
But it's like, okay, say we do make the playoffs, right? And he saves his job. Why couldn't we go further? Because of the fact that we didn't upgrade anybody else. So instead of just making the playoffs, as all of us think he's going to keep his job as he make the playoffs, if you would have took that next step, we would have made a divisional round or an AFC championship game, or hell, maybe even a goddamn Super Bowl if Anthony Richardson goes off the way we think he can. So it just pisses me off, the fact that it hasn't even been the urgency that I thought I would have at least wanted to see, because I've gave him the patience. I've stuck with this method that he keeps working with through the draft. But at some point, dude, you gotta just say F it and just bring somebody in, dude.
And
I didn't mean first day. I didn't mean the biggest money. I didn't mean the biggest signing. I just mean two people, bro.
Yeah, and like you can't look back at last season and say that we're gonna be okay moving forward with who we have. You just can't, because I know everyone hates this phrase, I guess, for some reason, especially on Twitter. I got into it and was told I don't know football. Just because I'm on a podcast doesn't mean I know football, because I said that strength of schedule should matter. And I'm not saying strength of schedule in a way to predetermine the season. I'm talking about when you look back at the season, you see the quarterbacks you faced. You see exactly what happened when you watch game film. You look at the wins and the losses and individual players and their positions and what's happening on the field. Yeah, we played teams that aren't good. So when you're sitting here saying that it's hard to win football games in the NFL, I understand that. But it's even harder when you don't upgrade your roster after looking at the season of playing literally nobody.
A lot of the time, yeah.
And like, see, this comment right here explains it all right here. Like, this is supposed to be funny. What week do we see Joe Flacco run this offense? But this is also the shit that's setting us back. If you build up on the roster and you have more game-changing players, then we don't have to worry about this problem. We can literally do like the Cleveland Browns did to end up making the roster without their quarterback. It's just insane to me, man. Like, hopefully it's something that works out in his favor. But I'm just kind of sick to my gut, because I believed him on his word and thought that maybe this would be the year that we actually see the difference. But he pretty much just I don't know. I gotta wait till the season starts to come to see if his way is gonna work. But I just think it's crap at this point. I just think sitting on your hands this way, just a safety or a corner would have did it for me, or one offense, one defense.
Yeah. It's also just frustrating, like just understanding the competitive window of a team, right? Like usually you suck for a little bit, you make some moves in the draft, you build through the draft, like we're saying, and then once those guys start to compete, and we were competitive last year, won 9 games, like decent, right? But not a playoff team yet. We have that core. Now what you have to do when you're at that point and ready to compete with the guys you drafted, the core of your franchise, you go and add veterans, you add free agents to put you over the top. Every team that has won long-term has followed that model. And it felt like we were in the window to do that. And we still might. That's why I don't want to just go, woe is me. But
Yeah, exactly.
This is the time to make those moves. And we went into this offseason saying this is the time that we should really pursue a couple free agents, make a couple moves, nothing crazy, but like 2 or 3 moves, like we said, get some guys in here that can help put us over the top. And just to have not done it yet is like, what are we expecting? What are we doing this year? I don't get it.
Ballard's getting lucky that there's other people that are still sitting out there available.
Yeah.
And I think essentially that's like, I can see that's where most Colts fans are like, well, there's still people available. Like, yeah, we get that. But the fact that like we haven't even brought anybody in to talk to them yet, like we can clearly see what's happening. It's the same thing we see every single year. And like, hey, mom, it's literally the same thing every single year. And it's pretty annoying. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. And then there's this whole thing of people saying, well, AR is coming back. That changes the whole dynamic of things because, Gardner Minshew had this many turnovers and Anthony Richardson had 2 turnovers in 2.5 games. Okay, but you can't predict that his ratio is going to stay that same way all season.
Right.
We also had one of the highest 3-and-out rates.
Yeah. We also didn't win any of the games he played, almost 99% of the game. So we can't essentially sit here and say Anthony Richardson is going to come back, especially with the throwing shoulder surgery that he had. We can't predict that. Put it all on him.
It's a question mark, right? Like we can't expect that. We hope and we're optimistic about it. Like what we've seen, I think everyone on this podcast believes AR is going to be the guy, right? Like none of us are saying it's not going to be that way, but you can't go into the season expecting like 100% this guy's going to go and freaking win MVP. Like we don't know. We don't know how he's going to look. We're hoping for the best, but that's not something you can bank the season on.
And as Dwight Corey is saying here, it's second week. And that's what it comes back to, because I try and be one of the more level-headed fans. I try to play devil's advocates in many situations. I try to keep things calm about it. But it's just pretty frustrating to not see that we didn't attempt to iron out some things that we normally don't do. It's like every year we come into a season or an off season where we know we got a huge problem, such as our left tackle situation a couple years back. And we don't get anybody for a while. And we give Matt Pryor the job and say it's his job to just go ahead and do it rather than addressing it with some other guys like I'm forgetting his first name, but Charles Leno that was out there. And then we go through the whole season. It's like, hey, your left tackle sucks. And then we did it for 6 years with quarterback.
We got 8 up.
We did it for 6 years with quarterback. We did a receiver for a while. It's just every year we sit there and go into the offseason with something just being trash, and everybody knows it. And it's like, if fans can all point out one glaring weakness and you don't try something, it's just like you're conceding, dude. Yeah. Just get over that at some point. Like, you just gotta address it when it's there and give us a freaking shot. That's all we ask. So I get us the second week. I even told Colts fans in a couple of our group chats, is Colts fan Antoine up there, appreciate you coming in, man. Was saying up there, I was telling everybody that, like, hey, we might not make a signing until after the draft, because that's the way Ballard might like to operate. He'll draft his guys, see where the roster is at, and then he'll go with somebody that he feels may fill that piece. It's just more so me that I thought that he said, hey, you got a quarterback on a rookie contract. Why wouldn't you spend more money? And some people argue that Ballard doesn't spend any money, although I want to say he was 6th highest and money spent, and I want to say like 8th highest in guaranteed money given out, but it's pretty much all to your own guys.
Yeah,
so,
and people are gonna make that argument. That's fine, that's great, that's all good and dandy, but half the dudes you re-signed we could replace.
I'm gonna say this.
I worry that
Go ahead, man.
No, Zach, you've been real quiet this whole time. You go ahead.
Yeah, Zach's like me right now. He's trying to hold back the fire that's going to come out of his hair.
I mean, I'm not. I'm just over here saying, man, y'all, I sat here and argued, and then, like, he just did exactly what I told y'all he would do. So This is exactly what I'm saying. He paid all these guys. I'm worried that our core is going to get old before he finally decides to spend money.
Agreed.
Like
That's my biggest fear.
I think he's got like a year or 2 years left at top level. Why he brought back Grove? Listen, I love Grove. You'll never hear me argue, but he's not worth $39 million. In no way, shape, or form is that dude worth $39 million.
Hey,
At least in the sense that you could have got someone maybe younger.
I don't want to cut you off real quick, Zach, because you've been quiet a lot of the time. I just want to jump on this one real quick. Keo Walker is saying, sorry, I'm late. What move can Ballard do to make up for this miss? He can restructure, or he can give Buckner an extension, and then go get Justin Simmons. Boom. Nobody cares anymore.
I mean,
we'll all shut up.
The only D lineman that I think deserves an extension is DeForest, and he ain't even got one yet. So
free
here he
agent
is,
2025.
Right. Here he is shelling out Kenny Moore. Good money. Kenny Moore's 27. Man, I hope to God his knees and his hamstrings hold up for another 3 years because, I mean, if not, burnt toast. Like this core, we are not the window. We did. At least we did re-sign Pinter, Dad. Good job. Former Ball State grad.
Hey, we re-signed our punter, too. That was important.
So the way I look at this and the way I see this is better pray and hope to God these guys perform into their 30s. Because if not, the next GM, if Ballard and the boys don't make the playoffs, which 50-50 toss-up, gonna have to reshape a roster again and build again through the draft, and we repeat this same process over. Like, I don't think people realize Ballard took a big risk, and there's a part of me that really hope it blows up in his face. There's another part of me as a Colts fan, I don't want to see my Colts lose. I've been spoiled for most of my life watching them win for 20 straight freaking years and only losing to the Patriots. But, like, something's got to give.
Bro, we had 14 in 2 seasons and shit. Like,
yeah,
multiple of them.
Something's got to give. And I don't think Ballard's that guy to give us the answers. He's shown it consistently. That's just my 2 cents. Like, I'm ready for mock draft. Let's go.
Isaiah says, what about this Raekwon Davis signing? I think consensus was like pretty solid signing, but it didn't. I don't think it moved. At least not for me. It didn't move the needle.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me because we essentially re-signed Grover, then we signed him, and then we re-signed his backup. So we essentially signed 3 interior defensive linemen.
Yeah.
I think
it's strange.
I think it also helped a lot to not have I'm forgetting his name right now, but God damn it, who was last year that was playing a lot of
Taven Bryan?
Yeah, Taven Bryan, to get him out of the position he was playing last year. So it'll help to have a backup run defender, but it's not like the biggest thing in the world. I thought it was something good to go out and get a name outside of the building.
He's a big dude. He is a big dude.
Yeah, also our depth is also one of the things that we needed to get out there as well to build up on. So yeah, man,
we got some new viewers in here, man, and I just want to let y'all know I appreciate y'all coming out. I know where's the comment at? It's way up here.
Hey, shout out to my aunt watching this in northern in northern New York. Patty Stimmel, I know you're out there.
Colts
Thanks
fan,
for the love.
Colts fan Antoine says he likes this podcast already.
Thank you.
There's some other guys in here that are saying that we're speaking their minds, and we're just gonna tell y'all straight up. We don't beat around the bush, man. We're straight shooters here.
Bullshit.
We don't bullshit in here. We both. Well, I think all of us will say that we know the grass isn't always greener. You know, if Ballard goes, it's essentially we're kind of risking the chance of bringing in somebody even worse. But you know, it's just the idea that like we're frustrated. We're frustrated with everybody.
Welcome, bro.
So we welcome you guys. Keep bringing in.
There she is. Appreciate you, Patricia.
Yeah, I agree, man. And I feel like overall we've been pretty fair, man. Like we have given Ballard his credit over and like every good draft he has, which is damn near all. He's an incredible drafter. We're always like, man, Ballard did it again. He cooked in the draft. He did well here. He did well. Like we're not just haters, right? We've been pretty fair to the guy. So I think it's only fair to point out when we're frustrated that we just sat on our hands in the offseason.
I want to give him his flowers for building a team and getting
That
us to
wins.
the playoffs
Yeah.
because we've been this close for like 3 years, for like 3 different time periods. We've been,
Man.
and I can't give a dude his flowers for bringing me C+ work with
Yeah.
A+ thought process.
You want to know what I hate? You want to know
What?
what I hate? Because this is kind of feeding off of what you're saying. I hate the fact that like he builds such good areas, but the
Yeah.
one spot he doesn't touch is what makes us not good. Like he can't have
Kills
us.
us.
He can't have us balanced across the board. Like if we're gonna be average, then be average everywhere. But we're like elite in some really good spots. Like I think Michael Pittman is really close to being an elite wide receiver. That's just me. When you look
All
at
he
it,
needs to do is add touchdowns to that resume.
that's it.
Yeah.
I think JT is clearly elite. We have an elite interior offensive line. We have an elite interior defensive lineman in Buckner. And then we have our back end in the secondary that is just ruins it all for everybody. It's like that damn kid on Christmas that already opened all the gifts 2 days prior just to sneak it and gets everyone in trouble. Like,
Asshole.
yeah, man. It's, what Trev will understand it. It's like our secondary is the blue falcon of the Colts roster.
Yes.
Like it's just that the guy you fucking can't stand. You want to give them a goddamn a blanket fucking party. You want to fill that fucking
Put the
sheet up
soap in the
with
pillowcase.
bars of soap. Yeah, and beat the shit out of them because it's
Stop
like
snitching.
everywhere else is ready to move and ready to go into the playoffs, ready to
And then there's
compete for a
this guy.
Super Bowl, and then there's the fucking secondary.
Private Pile.
Ah.
Backing it up.
Yeah, see,
Shut up,
that's
Carl.
that's also one of the things for me. Is just like you guys have stated plenty of times that we have some talent on the roster and whatnot. And one of the main positions that we have been missing is quarterback. And so it's like one of those situations where like comes back to when I was going back and forth with Zach and Damon. It's like, okay, say we do start winning or whatever, and something like that happens, or we do see a little bit of success. It's still like it's taken so long to get to this point that it's like Zach had said, it's like, why keep trying? Why let it keep going? Because it's like, at what point do we sit here and say, okay, enough is enough? We go another year, we go another 2. Then it's like, damn, we could have added talent those 2 years. So it's just one of those situations. Like if we make it to the playoffs, and obviously he's going to keep his job at that point, it's still going to be like, what more have we missed out on? Like you guys have said, we've been right there.
We got that fighting spirit, but
we've been there a few times, and the quarterbacks that we brought in just didn't work out. And it's like,
I also don't like to sit here and blame the quarterbacks every time we didn't make the playoffs, right? Essentially, for some reason, the year Jacoby Brissett was 5-2 and he got hurt, the whole team decided to shit the bed. That made no sense to me because I'm pretty sure that's the same year Eric Ebron quit on us. Eric Ebron quit on us that year. Legit, was like, I'm injured, I'm done. And then even admitted in the offseason that he just quit. He just didn't want to play for us. And it's like that year, the whole team shit the bed, right? Then we had the Carson Wentz season. And the Carson Wentz the Phillip Rivers season is probably the most complete team that we've seen together under the Chris Ballard time frame.
Loaded.
And I'm
best quarterback play.
That's counting the Andrew Luck season. That's counting the Andrew Luck season. I truly think the Phillip Rivers season was like our most complete under Chris Ballard. But then when we had Carson Wentz, everyone puts it on Carson Wentz, and I'm like, did you not watch the defense in those last few weeks?
See, we've been saying that for like 3 years.
Carson Wentz had times where he was like, where we questioned what he was doing, but at the same time, the defense in those last 3 weeks of that season did not help matters whatsoever. Kenny Moore was getting burnt by tight ends.
Yeah, I remember like talking about it when it first happened too, and especially with all the freaking Matt Ryan shit. I think I know for sure me, probably you too, but I think most of us talked about like we probably should have ran it back with Carson that year.
Yeah.
Like I'm happier we are where
really
we are
wanted
now.
to.
I would not have wanted Carson to be my long-term QB. Don't get me wrong, but I mean anything would have been better than fucking Matt Ryan year.
I truly wanted to run it back with Carson Wentz, and I truly felt like if Ballard would have taken it that year to build around Carson Wentz that offseason, I think we wouldn't even be having this conversation today. I don't think Carson Wentz great or elite. I think he was good enough.
That's the part that I hate to bring up Andrew Luck, but that's the part that pisses me off so much that he retired after that 2018 season, dude. Because I feel like that Super Bowl was fucking ours in 2019. I feel like there was nothing. There was nothing stopping us outside of injury. I don't feel like there was anything from stopping the Indianapolis Colts from being 2019 Super Bowl champions.
If it wasn't that year, it was going to be 2020, and that's a fact.
Oh my god!
If we would have had Andrew Luck that 2020 season, that was a Super Bowl year.
And just imagine what weapon we would have added.
My God, that fucking roster that year, bro, with Michael Pittman and JT and just my God.
And
man,
you give Andrew Luck those guys? Come on, bro.
Yes. Yeah, bro. That team. God, I'm
getting sad now. We got do the mock draft.
I hated to
bring it up. Shaq's career year too. God, that was Shaq's career year. Man, that was when Darius was on fire.
Hey, Keogh Walker says the Matt Ryan year was the worst case of blue balls us fans ever experienced. Man, I tell you, oh my God, I hated that one from the jump. I remember people talking about that one, and they were talking about Matt Ryan, how he was in training camp. He could put the ball anywhere he wants. Blah blah blah.
He's like Peyton Manning.
I was just not enthused at all. Jeez, man, I just was not. Wasn't happy with it.
Paul Nelson, nobody wants Brock Bowers.
Nobody. Let's get into this mock draft, bro. I know a lot of Colts fans talking about damn.
What the hell is that?
Brock Bowers.
Oh,
is this our simulator?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to. I'm sorry, Paul, for ignoring your comment, man. I just didn't want no beef. I don't want Brock Bowers at 15. So
Paul says he'll buy a solid jersey if he's drafted, though. Paul, I'll hold you to that, brother. Because I'll wear it if he gets drafted. I'll wear it if he turns into Travis Kelce.
Hey, I'm about to pin that comment, dog.
Hey, y'all want normal?
Oh wait, wrong one. Where is that?
Normal speed, right?
That's fine, yeah.
Standard. All right.
Now, note before we get started, fans, everybody watching, we know these mock drafts are not going to be entirely accurate. I'm sure the computer's going to make some weird fucking choices. So
only that.
Don't jump all over us.
Last year, I'm pretty sure ours was way off.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. We got like CJ Stroud at like pick 20 when we traded down just for.
So we'll pick from the Colts side, like what we believe is, realistic. Like we're computer might do weird shit. Just be aware.
All right. Well, to start off, are we trading up? No, right?
No.
We're trading down.
Well, I say Pat personally. I say Pat for all of our picks. I don't want any movement.
All right. Well, I'm going to start this. And then once it gets to us, because I don't want to trade up. So
see, like right there, the computer picks damn
exactly,
and then gets Caleb Williams at 9. That's funny.
Totally agree. Well, they want to give us a 2025.
Yeah, did I make that?
Nope, reject that one.
No.
What the fuck trash trades are these?
They're not even giving us picks in this year's draft.
Oh, here we go. Minnesota.
But realistically, they already traded. Oh, no, they got that trade from Houston. My bad.
Look at everything they can. Oh, that might be a good deal, dog.
Nah,
that would be a good deal.
I know everyone wants fucking Brock Bowers.
Hey, if Bowers is here at 15, obviously you take him. My first choice, though, is Latu from UCLA.
I disagree. I don't think it's obvious. I think if he's at 15, you just keep letting him slide on down personally.
Who, Brock Bowers?
Yeah,
I feel like
I'm off the Brock.
I was gonna say if we were gonna go Bowers, then we should have just traded back with Minnesota there. But look, that's one of the things I don't get, bro. Brock Bowers is so good. Why is he here at 15 when he's supposed to be 9? But,
now, even without, oh my bad,
I'm gonna be greedy here. I want Brian Thomas. I want that receiver.
I was about to say, even without scrolling down, I see a couple names here I like being Brian Thomas Jr. And yes, I'm a Tigers fan, but I'm not being biased. I see Nate Wiggins and I see Cooper DeJean. I like all three.
Get Cooper DeJean, bro. Take all three. Take Jason Seymour 2.0.
That is not Jason Seymour.
But personally, I'm agree with DeMarco. I'm gonna go Brian Thomas Jr. here.
What did I just do? I don't know what I just did.
I'll take it. Yeah, Brian Thomas is fine. Latu's fine. Nate Wiggins is fine. Either
Yeah,
one of those three.
I see a couple of y'all
Fine.
comments in there. Looks like Quayon Mitchell isn't even on the board anymore.
And I would say, too, that's why I'm okay not taking a cornerback here at 15, because I think there's enough good ones that can fall to us at 46 that I'm okay with taking still and letting them fill that position. So I see these comments here talking about Cooper. I dude's incredibly talented.
Hey, would you get a
No,
little
he said
frisky and take,
no to Cooper.
My bad. I see that now.
No.
would you get a little frisky and take Byron Murphy from Texas?
I wouldn't. I think he's a good
We already re-signed Grover, and then we brought in
Exactly.
his backup.
If we would have let Grove walk, I would probably be looking more heavily at that. But I go best player available here, and to me, that's Brian Thomas Jr.
That's fair.
So is that who we're taking?
I'm taking the way the game can go. Everybody else is loading up on defense. We got to be
Go
elite.
Tigers.
Give me an A.
That's kind of homerish. We can't let Trev talk us into taking
Look,
out.
Hey, look.
look how far
Marcus
Bowers.
first, bro.
Look how far Bowers is slipping, or he did slip.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Now I see a big name here. I know Zach's going to be on. And I
Hey,
think I'm in on
if you
too.
don't just decline all these trades, if you don't take Tyler Newman, sitting here at 46,
I agree.
you're
I
adopted.
agree.
Yeah.
Hey,
Right
folks,
there.
if y'all haven't watched Tyler Newman play, this guy's incredible, and he is slotted to fall around that pick. I think if he becomes a Colt, it's going to be we'll benefit from it. This guy's going to be a good
What else
pick.
we got there? Matt, scroll down a little bit. What else we got there?
Peyton Wilson's cool, but he's a coverage backer, not worth a second round pick.
I was about to say we don't need a linebacker though.
There's your boy Ricky Pearsall, DeMarco.
No, it's too early for him.
Yeah, I ain't taking it. I do like Mike
If he-
Tannerstrill, however you say it, out of Michigan, but I don't go him this early.
I would hope.
There's
Pearsall.
Keyshawn Keeling or Marshawn Keeling.
Also, a sleeper pick, if y'all haven't noticed him, Malachi Corley out of Western Kentucky. All right, this guy was highlighted by Steve Smith. I started doing some research on him. He's a sleeper pick. I wouldn't take him. I'm not saying that, but
I'm not even gonna lie. I'm kind of mad none of those defensive ends made it to 15.
yeah, they went
Because
for
I would have liked a receiver in the second round.
and
but
take
I
like
did-
Dallas Turner.
Yeah,
Right.
but I don't. Latu is like one of my least preferred just because of the neck injury. I don't trust that long term. But I would say Nubin here. I think that's the best available on the board. You find your free safety, your rangy free safety. At that, obviously, you do have to go young, but still free agency out there. So I'm gonna say Nubin. I think that gets the need.
I agree. Matt Paul Nelson asks, "Who's your edge guy in the draft?"
Turner.
Dallas Turner's a dog.
Yeah.
He's a dog. I will also say Jared Verse is slotted to be somewhere around our pick. I wouldn't be mad.
I
At
like
either.
Verse too. Yeah, those are my two guys right there.
First was gone too.
Yeah,
they both went up.
in this one, but I just mean in general, like draft boards and everything. He's slotted around our pick. There's a chance he slides to us. I would take that pick as well.
These
There's
trades
Malachi
are-
Corley.
He is good, but if we took Brian Thomas, I'm not taking any more receivers personally.
Would you take Trey Benson from Florida State?
So
No, not a
Right-
third round.
right
pick,
here,
no.
if you guys see right here, I see Chris Abrams-Drain out of Missouri.
Yeah, I was just
Very
looking at that.
talented for a very solid Missouri Tigers team all year. I would go him personally. I like the way he fits. I think he would fit in our defense.
Hey,
Very athletic.
Matt, will you
dude,
click
like-
over to the corners tab? The corner tab, yeah. Click on the corner and let's see who actually is there.
Now I see K.O. Walker talking about Kyrie Jackson. He says he's 6'3", athletic and fast. Can't beat that.
I do like Kyrie Jackson.
Yeah, I like Kyrie Jackson, but I think he can make it to the third though. I mean the fourth.
I go Chris Abrams-Drain here, but I'm not mad at that if this guy's 6'3" and fast. Like I haven't seen much about Kyrie Jackson before this.
He's a Juju Brents, man.
So we already got wide receiver, safety. What's the best available?
Running back.
Trey Benson. I'm good. I'm good on that.
We got down a little bit.
I like both of them backs, though.
Who we got an edge? I do like Adisa Isaac, kinda. I don't love it. I like Gabriel Murphy, but I think he could be available in the
Hey, Austin Booker's the truth from Kansas.
Okay.
Stud. He's a stud, man. He's a stud.
So we see a couple here that might be able to slide in the fourth. Now, I mean, you don't expect a fourth round edge to be, starting and dominating, but Matt said it a ton of times before. You take the edge guys and give them a year or two to really develop. So that might be a good spot for him.
Keel Walker says, take who?
He's talking about Kyrie Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
He votes Kyrie Jackson. What else y'all got in the comments? Let us
I
know
would
who we
take
should
that
pick
vote.
right here.
I
I'm
would
not
go
mad at it.
Kyrie
I prefer Chris Abrams-Drain, but that's also because I've actually watched this guy play.
I think he's limited to be a slot corner too, though, in the league.
That's possible. That's possible. I mean, yeah, it's always hard to tell like how that transition is going to go. You know, like what a guy's going to be. Because
Well,
go ahead.
what would Ballard do in this situation?
Trade
Go
back.
Because if you
Can
look
you
at our
propose a
pick,
trade?
if you look at our pick gap, we got a pretty wide one there. Or no, actually, we already passed the wide gap, 82 to 117. So,
Do we take
go
the
go
Chris
to, go to
Abrams
all
ring?
go to all again, Matt, and then scroll down to the next level that we got. Go down a little bit
There's
further.
Trotter Jr. from Clemson. He's a dog.
He is solid. He is solid.
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
think we
yeah.
go linebacker. If we go linebacker, it'd be
Yeah.
round 6.
Yeah, it's going to be late. And then that guy's going to turn into a stud.
Keep going.
That's how it always is, man.
I do like Braylon Allen as a backup, but I wouldn't take it. Now, Jaden Hicks here. This is one of my guys that I really like watching.
You gonna take 2 safeties though?
No, that's what I'm saying. If we got Newman, I'm not taking Hicks. However, I just want to point out Jaden Hicks he's fun to watch, man. He's like a shutdown safety.
I
Just
think
one of
I
those guys that gets
personally,
involved.
I'd go here in between the 2 corners. Me personally, I'd go between Chris and Kyrie Jackson, whichever y'all prefer.
I'm in the same boat, and I'm going Chris. What you
Take
think,
Chris.
All
Just
right.
because he's a slot corner. You can never have too many good nickels.
Terrence Renato Green. I don't even think. I think he's like a 4th, 5th round pick.
Who's he say? Bernardo Green?
Oh, if Kyrie Jackson is still on the board, take him.
Yeah.
I'd go back to that corner.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh my God. I thought he might
Yeah.
make it. He made it. Oh, I'd do it. I don't.
And taking 2 corners.
I don't know if y'all want to do it, but I'd for sure.
Well, let's
would.
look at these edges.
You gotta remember though. Last year we took 2 corners and we still were terrible at corner depth.
Yeah. I'm not hating. I just think it's funny. Let's
But
use
see,
it
that's
that
why
way.
I'd end up going 2.
I do like Gabriel
Yeah.
Murphy here. I do like Gabe.
But he looked like he might be back, and
No, I prefer go corner.
I'd double down on corner again.
Take corner.
I'm not mad. Hey, yeah, I'm about to
That
say
Green-
Keelan Walker's fighting
That
for it,
Green
too.
kid from Florida State, Renlo Green or whatever, he's a stud too.
See what
This
we
is
got here.
this is round 5.
Yeah.
I see. My guy.
My guy just went off the board.
Who is your guy?
My running back.
Yeah, bro.
He's
Audric Estime?
No, hell no.
Oh,
I'm about to say, I
Bernardo
didn't
Green's
like
still
that.
there. Hey, Malik Washington, dude's a stud.
We got to look at these edges, see who's available. We got to get one of them.
nobody.
I don't think you force it. I think you go best
Yeah.
available edge.
I just want to see. I don't know if I'm going for any of those guys. I did like what
Nobody.
Javon Solomon did at Troy, but I don't know how he's going to
That
play.
Hey, Malik Washington for Virginia, man, kind of nice. I also like Ray Davis from Kentucky. A little bit older running back, but he's a physical running back, downhill type of guy. To me, this is a perfect round. You take a guy like another running back to add to the stable behind JT.
Who else?
I kind of like McKinley Jackson right there on the D line. He remind me of one of those guys that can be a very versatile defensive lineman that you can move around.
I like that Malik Washington dude, receiver from Virginia. He's a little shorter, but he does everything. He's like Josh Downs.
Hey, can we scroll a little bit, Matt? Let's see who else.
Nah,
we
he
got.
like a short Debo Samuel.
There we go. Perfect. Even better.
Yeah. I like the short Debo comp for him. He's a big dude. Ooh, Jaheim Bell there late. I know
That's sad.
everybody
I
loves
do
tight
like
ends.
Bell. I
Yeah.
don't love it.
I know everybody loves tight ends.
That might be the one.
There's Tyler Davis from
I'm kind of thinking the trenches, just kind of thinking where Ballard would go. That's why I like the
Yeah.
McKinley Jackson one there.
I did see a Holker out of Colorado State. He's also a tight end that I've had my eye on, but I don't really care about tight end right now, which is why.
Do any of you guys think there's a need now that we've gotten wide receiver, safety, 2 corners? Like this is very defensively heavy draft.
I don't want to think I don't want to think defensive line because we just spent so much money on our defensive
Yeah, I'm
line.
not drafting any type of D in line with the money we
No,
spent.
unless it was edge. But right here, I
Yeah.
feel like we're forcing edge this late in the draft.
Yeah, I don't see any edges that really jump for me. Like I said earlier, I like Javon Solomon out of
Well,
Troy.
see, that's exactly why I didn't say. That's exactly why I didn't say edge. I said versatile D lineman. I think you
Would
could
you
play
take?
him a couple different spots, but I hear what you guys are saying.
Would you take another corner?
I wouldn't. Personally, I wouldn't.
Not 3 in a row. I mean,
wouldn't.
I do. I think Renardo Green has a lot of upside, so I can't say I'd be totally out on it. Hey, Matt, go to running backs real quick. I want to see which ones is still there.
We got Will Shipley, Ray Davis.
Hey, there's that Isaac Guerrero dude.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Yeah, from Louisville.
He will
Take
be.
him.
He should be there next round. I wouldn't say take
he'll
him.
probably be there.
I would hope he'll be there next round.
He's
But
worth the
I
reach,
think-
though.
I think
You know
I
what?
think I'm gonna go. I think
Kicker's
I'm gonna go with
important.
Zach. I think I'm gonna go with Zach on this one and say just grab Malik Washington. You grab another receiver. I remember Ballard saying the receiver depth that we had was his fault.
I'd be okay with that.
So
I
It's
just
a-
like
I-
the kid. His tape
Yeah.
is fun to watch. He's a cool dude. I mean, literally, dude's like 5'8", but they use him like they use Debo, and
he like a running back.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, we saw this past year. We run a lot of motion, especially like Josh Downs was always in motion. That's something that he could excel at if we got a guy like that. So I'm okay with that. I don't love how it shaked out, but I would take that.
I just
I
don't
mean,
like.
I got no
he came
problem
off
taking
the-
3 corners.
Yeah, I just
Like,
don't like
you
the. I feel like we got slighted in that first round. I just feel like the picks that I
Yeah.
thought would have been there in the first round just kind of threw it off for me because I do like Brian Thomas, but I thought we would have had more options
I agree.
at that
I
15.
agree.
Is Rice? Oh, Jerry Rice's kid is in this draft, isn't it? Yeah, from USC.
So yeah, Matt, me personally, I would go Washington with this pick.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Yeah, I'm good. Draft it.
Gives us a B+ for it. I'll take it.
They better not take Isaac, bro. They better
take him?
not.
Oh,
Oh, he's
Nah.
right there. He's right there.
He's still there.
Oh, take him.
it's all right. Cody Schrader's there.
I think he's still
He
there.
made it. Yeah, he made it.
Y'all want to
no.
take this trade? I think he'll be there in 5 picks.
I would take it.
Add another 7.
Yeah.
I'd do it. Yeah.
Paul Nelson asks, any chance we get Neighbors? I don't think so, man. I
Yes,
think he
we
goes
get it.
top 5.
We get
I'll
an
reject
extra
that.
pick. Yep, and I'd take
Take
Isaac.
that. Yeah,
That
take that
dude is-
Isaac Guerrero.
Isaac
dude. He's a
Guerrero
stud.
from Louisville.
Him?
Yeah, boy is explosive, and I'm talking about.
I'm gonna have to check him out. I didn't know y'all felt so strongly about
Bro,
him.
DeMarco told me about him. I watched his
telling you.
tape and was all like, this guy's a nut.
Almost every time I'm talking about one of every 6 touches, Trev, is a
TD.
10-yard game. 10-yard
Hey.
game.
Can't go wrong with that.
His explosive rate is just off the charts.
But he's big too.
Y'all want to look at tight end here? See who we got tight end wise?
Oh no. Let take the Trevor McGee or Keegan
Trevor
from
Keegan?
Michigan.
I don't even
Bro,
know the
he's
guy.
nasty. He's
I think
nasty.
we're fine at O line though. I don't know if we need
Yeah,
more
but
guys.
can never have too much O-line depth.
Now I did see we were interested in Braden McGregor. I don't know if that's just a rumor or whatever, but I saw that we had
We have a
Yeah,
top 30
visit.
visit with him.
top 30 visit. I mean,
Yeah.
we do need an edge. I mean, I would entertain that.
Who?
Braden McGregor from Michigan, the edge. I know he's been linked to the Colts lately. They've been talking about him.
What
like he's
about
gonna visit
Jalen
them.
Harrell?
I don't know as much about him. Now I did see McGregor play more. I'm sure I've seen Harrell, but I haven't focused on Harrell. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I don't know much about him.
Grayson Murphy still there?
Hey, go to quarterback, Matt.
Hey, I saw this dude play. Trash.
Jake Plummer, he was trash, dog.
Trash.
From
Back up.
Purdue, cheeks,
I
dog.
watched him at the.
Yes.
I watched the
Who is little brother?
Senior Bowl.
that damn the East West Bowl.
He's
Hey, if
from
we can
Shrine
get
Bowl.
that, if we can get Caden in the 7th round, I'd take him there.
Who,
Caden
Slovis?
Slovis?
Caden Slovis.
Oh, he
Yeah.
was a bum at SC.
But he could develop with Steichen. He run like a 4.4. I think he
We,
can
we
fit.
got elite
Wait.
Joey Flacco, man.
Then take John Riles Plumley from UCF. He's
Is this long snapper? That's funny, bro.
yeah, bro. Hey,
Hey,
look
let's
at the
snap this along.
kickers.
Who's best available?
Show me the kickers. Isaiah Davis.
I'm
Who?
going McGregor here. I'm going Braden McGregor. I like that. This late, I like that. I don't know why we haven't scheduled for a top 30 visit. That's crazy to me, but
Would you
I'll
take Josh
take him this
Proctor?
late. No.
No.
I don't trust anyone in the Ohio State defense. I think they're soft.
Yeah,
That's
no
fair.
chance.
I'm
No
just a
chance.
hater.
I
I'm
think
a
we.
hater. My bad.
No chance. I think we get Neighbors. That is that'd be my dream pick outside of
I
Turner.
love Neighbors, bro. If y'all are first time viewers, man, I'm a massive Tigers fan. I've watched Neighbors since he got to college. I love this kid, but I don't think there's a snowball chance in hell. like Kid said, not a snowball chance in hell that we get this guy. He's going top
Hey,
5.
I haven't really been paying
Colts
attention
could give
to
up
these
the
comments.
farm.
I haven't really
Really
been
grab
paying
Mitchell or Worthy late in the first. Steichen Wayne, another coach.
Like
I
I said,
really-
Yeah.
I feel like the draft was really off. I didn't see any of the picks that I thought would
Hey.
be there in the first 2 rounds.
They were at that Texas Pro Day and they weren't looking at Worthy. Don't let them fool you.
I
They're
haven't really
looking
been,
at AD Mitchell,
What are you saying,
the
Matt?
other Texas receiver.
I haven't really been paying attention to these comments, but I don't understand where some of these people are saying we need linebackers.
I feel like we're
I
good.
thought I thought we had some
Who's-
good depth behind our linebackers.
Who's
last
old boy's name that I cannot remember, Zach? I know you were a big
Alubi?
fan.
year.
Segun
Alubi,
Alubi.
Stewart.
That dude has potential, and then he's like the 3rd or 4th guy. Like, I feel like we're fine at linebacker,
I mean, it's not a Ballard draft without a linebacker because
That's
I feel
fair.
like that's what he
but he's
does.
going to be like the last pick. Yeah,
But yeah, he's going to be. This is it, like a seventh round pick. The only linebacker that I think is worth a darn is that Wilson kid from North Carolina State, who he's an off-ball backer that's really good in coverage.
I liked JD Bertrand in college. I don't like him in the pros. I don't. I wouldn't take him. I'm fully going Braden McGregor here. I like him enough to take him this late.
Who we picking?
If y'all are on
I
board,
like-
that's where I'm going. And that gives us something at edge where he can show something, develop maybe. Somebody goes down, he gets a chance to play a little bit. I like him in like 2 years' time, is why I say I will go ahead and take him this late.
I mean, it's worth a shot. No complaints. I think
And I
Harrell's a
don't
little
see
bit
anybody
better,
else
but-
here. I don't see anybody else
But
here
yeah.
that's popping
I
out.
would,
to me that we haven't already.
Right now that I'm thinking about it, I might go Grayson Murphy over McGregor.
You
That's
think
what
so?
I thought. Like Grayson Murphy.
I mean, I
Little
don't
bit
really
more
have a
explosive.
preference in this round. I don't really see. There's nobody that
Yeah,
really
it's
pops
so
off the
late,
screen to
too.
me that I love. But if we were going edge here, I would prefer Murphy over McGregor personally. Just me.
Is he related to Gabe Murphy at all? Are they brothers?
Yes, that's his twin brother. They both.
Okay, I didn't know
they
that.
come. I want to say they combined for 24 sacks at UCLA. So
That's pretty solid. That is
That-
pretty solid. I'm not mad at that. I just think either way we go. It was a 6th round, 7th round. I think we go like late and pick an edge here, just to fill a little spot, let him get some reps, whatever. And then 2 years from now,
I'm good
who
with
knows? But
with either guy. So if you pick Grayson, fine. If you pick McGregor, fine. I don't have a preference.
I just need
Either
a name.
one's fine with me.
I would choose Murphy over McGregor. That's just
I'm fine with that.
we got
What
254.
we got with our last pick. that we
Oh, this
traded.
was our trade back
Trade.
pick. Yeah,
About to
end
trade
up
back.
adding
Nope.
another
No
one.
trade offers. All right.
Let's see.
They said we
player
don't want your late
available.
round garbage.
Best player available.
I'm not taking.
Jordan
any-
Jefferson.
Nope. It's Christian Boyd. Ballard. They actually just met with this kid out of UNI, small town school. I think it's
They
funny
did
that
last
he's
week.
right there because
Yeah.
they just met
They
with
did
that
last
kid.
week.
So I feel like that might be the actual pick. That's hilarious.
So you just want me to
But
go
Jordan
ahead?
Jefferson from LSU.
Nah,
I'm not
man.
too. I'm
He's,
not.
he's
too
down
familiar
here
with
for a
him.
reason, bro. That D line was ass other than Harold Perkins. I ain't taking anybody from there. You know me. I'm a freak. I'm a
I was
homer,
about to
bro.
say
I'm a
Trev.
homer,
Trev's
but
a homer and a bite. He love his guys, and if he
I'm
tell you
sorry.
no,
I'm sorry.
probably-
Good luck in the XFL, buddy. Like,
he called it with Keyshawn, and look at him now.
I
Yeah,
tried
fair
to
enough.
tell him. I tried to tell him they wanted to take Keyshawn Butte. I told him that guy's ass.
Man, he looked good at LSU though. That's the thing. Like
I don't know anything about Christian. No, he didn't look good at LSU. He had one good game where he put up 300 yards, and then he never did shit else except throw temper tantrums. But that's a story for another day. I don't know anything about this Christian Boyd. Y'all said we've been looking at him already.
This is a small town kid. Colts just met with him this past week.
what was
So
that?
I don't really know too much about him, but I just feel like this might be that Ballard pick that we're like, okay.
What do we have at linebacker? Just to see who's available this late. If there's any names I know.
See if we got a Zaire Franklin out there.
That's what it's not a Ballard draft without a linebacker, right?
Hey, Steel
Hey,
Chambers.
Kalen Deloach right there.
Deloach,
He's a dog.
I kind of like Aaron Casey back there.
Aaron Casey
and
from
this
IU, he's a dog.
In this late, yeah.
I would
probably
get him
go
as
that.
an undrafted guy though.
Yeah, you probably could. You probably could.
I go Steel Chambers. That's just my pick.
I'm
I
not
like
taking
him
anyone
out,
from
'cause
Ohio State.
I
So
feel you. I understand your bias, but like I don't mess with that school where they came from. That school stuff. Like
I don't
he
care
can
about
play,
the
he
school.
can play.
I think Ryan Day is a soft coach, and I think that defense is soft because of it. But I'm also
Soft like
hater,
Charmin?
so- Soft like Charmin.
Soft
man.
like Charmin.
I think being that it's a Ballard draft, if we're going realistic, we probably do take a fucking linebacker. And I do like Deloach or Casey. Those would be my guys right there.
Either one of those, I'm not mad at. DeMarco, what's your 2 cents?
I just feel like what Trev said, if this was a Ballard draft, I feel like we're taking that D lineman out of UNI.
Yeah, if it's a Ballard draft, that D lineman out of you.
I do also like this late round linebacker. I like Kalen Deloach out of Florida State. I think he could be a good development backer. I don't know if he'll make the team, but I think he could be, good development. So it's not that I love anybody here.
Yeah, I mean, this late, you're not going to love anybody. I'd go Deloach.
Hey, show me the quarterbacks again.
Hey.
Hey,
Bill Yurkovich, former Notre Dame quarterback.
No. See that John Ross Plumlee?
Hey, Kale was saying tackle. Did we even look at O-line?
I just tried to. They told me to go to quarters.
John Ross Plumlee could be a guy. He's mobile.
Who do we
Look at Louisiana Lafayette popping up here, man.
None of these offensive linemen are worth a darn.
I don't know.
That's the cheeks, dog. That's got USFL, XFL.
The 7th round pick, bro. This dude gets paid $90,000 to show up to fucking training camp.
That dude out of Maryland looked like he might be a Ballard tackle.
Hey, what about interior? What's the interior offensive lineman look like?
Hey, Drake Nugent.
Michigan guys.
Drake Nugent.
Oh, Matt Lee's trash. Drake
Oh,
Nugent's
we got to take the Holy Cross kid. Come on now. How's this motherfucker even in the draft, bro?
Most of these guys
it's something about those. It's something about those Catholic schools and their offensive linemen. They're pretty aggressive.
Hey, bro, he's got the spirit of the Lord with him.
Spend too much time in church.
Getting whooped with rulers.
Got the armor of God, just taking people out, bro. That's
trying
funny,
to exercise the nose tackle.
Hey, he snaps the ball before he snaps the ball. The power of Christ compels you.
He's on a holy crusade every time he snaps the ball.
I mean, none of these offensive linemen. Hey,
no, I don't know.
I would take a kicker or a punter. This pick free for all. Matt, you want a long snapper? Take a long snapper.
I will say.
I'll take that D lineman out of UNI.
No one gives a shit, but Torrey Taylor, the punter from Iowa, is like one of the greatest punters of college football. I'm not fucking kicking out, but
oh, he's down here. Hey, you gotta take Carson Steele from UCLA. He's from Indiana.
Is Jordan Travis still on there? A quarterback?
That's what they said. No way, huh? He's got to go in the 4th or something.
Emory Jones still there.
No, I don't see him.
Hey, is Spencer Rattler there? Take my guy.
No. I want him as far away from Indianapolis as possible.
Where is Spencer Rattler?
That dude sucks, bro.
He went quick.
That's
crazy,
crazy.
man. He's gonna shock the world.
He gonna get traded just like boy from Atlanta.
Wasn't Miles Murphy like hot shit a year or two ago?
Who?
Miles Murphy, wasn't he hot shit in Clemson like a year or two ago? And now we see him
Yeah.
all the way down here. I will say Jalen Coker from
Hey,
Holy Cross
Taj
is one of the guys
Washington.
that Steve
Taj
Smith
Washington. Bro went crazy in that playoff game. I'd take Taj here.
I'm not taking three wide receivers though. One
Why
of them's getting
not?
cut. One of them's getting cut.
Why
so
not?
it's a
Who
waste
It's a
of
cares?
seventh round pick,
Who-
dude. They make, like I said, they make 90,000 to show up to a
I'm
training
just
camp.
saying. I'm just saying.
Load up on them. We need to
Hey,
have.
I
some
like that
depth there.
Jalen Coker kid. Bub Means.
Yeah,
I'm drafting
that was
just,
his name.
Just
Ritter.
Just for the name, dog. Bub Memes. He's getting
Bub
picked
Memes.
just for the name.
Can't
Just
fuck
for
with
the
Bub.
name.
Bub is mean.
Desmond Ritter. That's the next Spencer Rattler.
Is that Jaquan Jackson? He's one of two.
I love that. I love that.
Oh,
Our
no.
first through fourth round went so quick, but we debate over the 6th and 7th round picks.
Cornelius Johnson or Taj Washington. Those would be my two.
I take Cornelius Johnson.
I would take one of those two because I think Cornelius
balled out
Johnson
in
has a
Rose Bowl.
lot of he has a lot of untapped talent that because they barely threw the ball at Michigan, and then Taj Washington can go crazy. I like his abilities to develop, so I'd take one of those two receivers. That's where I go.
I'm still going Deloach, but at this point it don't
Y'all
matter.
drive me nuts.
Matt just
Who do you
wants
end
to
up
set the
taking?
draft in.
He took Cornelius.
Johnson. Fair enough.
That's a solid. That's a solid draft.
Paul,
man. I would not be
Tez
mad.
Walker went in like the 3rd round. Paul Nelson. No, we do not want to see Joe Flacco play at all.
So let's review what we got here. We got Brian
You don't wanna
Thomas
see
in the
him.
first. I'm happy with that, although I do think a guy like Jared Verse might be available there, and I'd probably go that way.
Yeah, I feel like I would have went defensive end if it was one of the other guys outside of Latu. So that's
Yeah.
kind of where it swayed
I-
my pick towards Brian Thomas. I do hope that we can kind of try and package some picks and trade up from 46.
Bro, why is JJ McCarthy going in the first round?
Dude, that's real though. That's real though. People are talking about this.
Dog,
Somebody is getting
he's the
JJ
next
going
Zach
this early.
Wilson.
Exactly.
Yeah,
we gotta
please
help
stop.
AR, man. I love taking 3 receivers. We gotta help AR. But yeah, Quayon Mitchell with number 7. This mock is trash, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
This
bro.
mark
Some
is
of these
garbage.
mocks are
Who
crazy,
made
bro.
the other team's picks? That is garbage.
Some of these are crazy.
not even close.
Xavier Worthy's not even a first round pick. Keon Coleman's on a first round pick. Bo Nix going 2nd pick of the 2nd round.
That's probably pretty accurate. I think he's a 2nd round quarterback.
See, I hope we do trade up into the 30s though. to be honest.
That would be nice. I see Braylon Trice there. Would have been all right.
Ricky Pearsall went to the Eagles. You don't want to play with
That sucks.
Jalen Hurts.
Paul, I don't think we're sleeping on JJ, man. This guy has shown nothing. He's shown no ability to be an NFL quarterback, bro. I don't understand. He is Zach Wilson. He is Zach Wilson all over again. And it's
You
gonna
I
show
think
at the next level.
here's the thing,
Didn't
Paul.
you just say that that's the draft though?
I mean,
What?
that's
No,
what
I
the
said that's
projection-
real. Like people are projecting that this guy's going
Like,
to go
I'm
top 10,
amazed.
and I don't understand it. I'm not in favor of it, but I'm saying that's
I
a
don't-
real talk that's happening. Is people are talking.
I
about
don't think-
Hey, Oakland just lost to NC State.
Damn.
Nice. I just look at it like this: Zach Wilson and JJ McCarthy are 2 in the same.
Hey Matt, I want to know
so-
your opinion on this one when Zach gets done. Go ahead,
Hold
sir.
on, yeah.
So, I say if you're gonna take him 6, you better scout the hell out of him. Yes, he played in a pro style offense, but a lot of the times his
He didn't do
reads
shit in it.
he didn't. I mean, he made his reads on the run, or he panicked. I get
I
it.
think-
He played on a loaded team, but at the same time, high risk, high reward. I'm
Look
just
at his
not.
pro
I'm not
day
wasting
today.
a top 10 pick.
Hell
His
Yeah,
pro day
they
today,
called it Zach Wilson.
It's Zach Wilson. It's Zach Wilson all over again.
He's a milf
Exactly
hunter
what it'll be,
2.0. Hopefully not. Goodness.
But
How many
real
years?
quick, KO Walker is saying here, after Quiddy, I don't trust Ballard to draft an edge at 15. That's all he's saying. I would love to know Matt's opinion on this because Matt has kind of calmed me down about edge rushers a little bit, watching them develop, and especially after the 2 that we took, one coming off injury, and then just kind of waiting to see them develop. So I want to know what Matt thinks about this one.
So what is it?
After Quiddy, I don't trust Ballard
So
to draft the edge at 15.
so basically, he's saying like he don't trust his opinion to take a solid edge rusher. He thinks that if he takes another edge rusher, he's gonna choose the wrong guy. If he had like an option to choose between them, he's gonna choose the guy to be the least productive or least effective rusher.
I mean, did he really have an option with the Quiddy? At the Quiddy?
Quiddy fell to us
Yeah,
at
I think Gregory Rousseau went like 22 to the Dolphins. I think.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't really trust Ballard to do anything but find linebackers, to be completely honest. I just want an edge at 15. Like, or because I don't know.
So
man.
in the case of this mock that we went Brian Thomas, would you have preferred us going Latu?
No.
No. Okay.
I think at that point, if Dallas Turner's gone, Versa's gone, who's the other guy? Arnold. I think if all three of those guys are gone, you go best player available at 15.
Well, Arnold's cornerback, but I think he's a good pick too.
But those are my top three at 15 if they're there.
Yeah,
those are my top three at 15 if they're there. And if those three are not there, then no, you go best player available. And if Brian Thomas Jr. is the best player available at that point, then yeah. But I also don't think it's fully best player available in the first, because if people are sitting here saying Brock Bowers is the best player available at 15, I'm not taking him.
Yeah,
but my thing with Kwity Paye is he just didn't pan out. It's not like he was a 100% complete bust. I just think the guy is taking way too long to develop when it should have been a 1-year thing. And, yeah, you said 8.5 sacks last year. That's fine. But like we've said before, our pass rush was so damn slow.
I mean, we got a lot of sacks. We just don't have a guy on the edge that's causing it. It's all DeForest.
It was cleanup.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
It was all cleanup.
It's like I don't even know if it's more so the pressure. We need consistent pressure, putting pressure on the quarterback, forcing turnover and stuff like that. So I totally get where Matt is coming. You got to go best player available, but that's why I also think this mock draft was absolutely trash, because they did not draft teams correctly to their needs. Like they had the Titans taking Quayon Mitchell at 7,
and they just signed Sneed.
When they just signed Sneed, right. And they also picked up Chidobe Awuzie. They signed him as well. So why would the Titans go cornerback at 7?
Yeah, they would.
It just didn't make a lot of sense. I saw a couple.
I disagree. I disagree with this comment right here, and the reason I disagree with it is because it wasn't the fact that we don't have the wide receivers. It was the fact that we didn't have the quarterback. Gardner Minshew threw to Michael Pittman Jr., I believe, over 80% of the time. His targets were to Michael Pittman Jr. And that doesn't say that Josh Downs wasn't – hold on. That doesn't say that Josh Downs wasn't open. It also doesn't say that AP wasn't open, because they were. They were there. It's just literally Minshew only had some kind of chemistry with Michael Pittman Jr. He only trusted Michael Pittman Jr. If you saw when AR was in there, he was spreading the ball around. He wasn't just throwing to Michael Pittman Jr.
That's part of why too. I think I'd be okay. I want a wide receiver, but I'd be okay not adding one, because I do feel like just with AR coming back, we are adding what?
Not at all. Adding a wide receiver.
We need to add one because we lost.
I'm saying I want one, but I'm saying it's not the end of the world to me if we roll into the season and our top 3, disregarding depth, our top 3 are MPJ, Downs, and
we don't have depth.
You mean our only 3?
We don't have depth after.
I'm saying Dillon is coming off an Achilles.
Okay, here what I'm saying. I'm saying we don't get a guy like Brian Thomas Jr. We don't get a guy like Neighbors. We add whoever the fuck backing up. I'm saying if those are our top 3
later.
That's what I'm trying to say.
You scared me, bro. I thought you were saying just go into the season 3 receivers again. I was about to be like, if Ballard do that, I probably will not watch a game.
But in a sense, it's like if you roll AR out there, just because of how he uses the wide receivers, like Matt was talking about, it's almost like adding wide receivers to the team that we didn't have before, because these motherfuckers are open and Gardner's so limited he couldn't get them the ball. So now it's like opening up the rest of the field to where we can get the ball to these guys, as long as AR is who we think he is.
Yes. So answering Paul's question here, you wouldn't trade up. Paul, I'm going to say no in the first round. I would say I would make some calls, because of the fact that, I think that if you can get a Terrion Arnold or a Dallas Turner those are two game changers that I think you would only need to change up or trade up to about 9 or 10 to get. Those would be the guys that I'd probably get. Obviously, I'd love to have Neighbors. I'd love to have Marvin Harrison Jr., one of those guys, but you would literally have to get into the top 7, top 5 for one of those guys, and that's just not going to happen.
Here's my thing with a lot of this trade up talks or this that and the other. Literally at 15, if the for sure thing's not there, I'm not trading up. I don't think corner is going to fix our issue at all. Even if we draft it in the first round, I don't foresee it fixing any issues on the back end. This guy's got to be a god, Hall of Famer, and if he's at 15, he's not a god or Hall of Famer, in my opinion. If he's that good, that's going to completely change the whole spectrum of our secondary, then he's going to be gone at like 5 or 6. That's just me. If he's at 15, it's essentially not the guy at corner.
So the only reason I slightly disagree just with this specific draft is because I feel like there's going to be at least 4 teams that take quarterback, right? And one of those dumb motherfuckers is going to pick J.J. McCarthy in like the top 10 for some reason, right? Then you also look, there's 2 wide receivers that are going to be gone for sure with fucking Harrison and Neighbors, and then Dallas Turner's going to be gone. So that's what, 4, 5, 6, that's 7 picks that are gone. That's why I feel like we could get a guy like Terry Arnold that could be that game changer at 15, even though he should be a top 10 pick. He might slide to us. So that's why I like the spot we're at, because we can get a game changer there that probably should have gone sooner just because.
I mean, if we get it and it works, great. But at the same time, I'm so skeptical about it because of the shit we dealt with last year. Granted,
I get it.
One of them was a 7th round pick that was starting, and he outperformed
everybody.
Juju. So I just don't want more inexperienced youth on the back end. That's my only issue. I mean, draft them, sure, but we need some vets back there. That's going to fix the issue, in my opinion. But I
don't expect them to be the guy. Like we need someone to lead them and show them.
Yeah, and then this whole Brock Bowers thing at 15. Again, tight ends are just not a first round pick in my opinion. They don't win Super Bowls for teams. They don't carry teams in the way that everybody thinks they do. So,
how many yards George Kittle had in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I want a day 1 impact. That's it. I want a day 1 impact noticeable.
Yeah,
which worries me when I say that, because I say I want edge, which usually is never a day 1 impact.
Depends.
Yeah, I mean,
unless you're Michael Parsons.
And see, and that's exactly why that's the reason why I really like the addition to say receiver, because I feel like receiver is somebody that easily could be added to a game plan if they have those kind of talents and abilities, such as a Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors, A.D. Mitchell, Brian Thomas Jr. The guys just have the traits that make you want to involve them in a game. And I just think that's why I do think receiver. And so Drake's saying here, if you go cornerback, there's other receivers. The problem with our mock is that I thought it was crazy that Quayon Mitchell, Terrion Arnold, or Nate Wiggins, none of those guys were there at 15, which I thought was crazy. So it's just a tough one.
Let me answer this. Let me answer this because they're responding to me. Don't win Super Bowls, bro. All 4 conference championship teams had a dominant tight end. Andrews, Little, Laporta, and Kelsey were on the final 4 teams. That's simply incorrect, man. Tight end matters. No, you're wrong because Andrews was out. Kittle is pretty much
Andrew played in the AFC Championship.
Okay, but he was pretty much irrelevant. Kittle is essentially not used the same way as he was 5 years ago when he was dominant. He's not even considered a dominant tight end anymore. Laporta is probably the only one I'll give you, and then Kelsey didn't do shit until the Super Bowl. So essentially,
none of those dudes are first-round picks,
and none of those dudes are first-round picks for one, and none of those dudes carried their team. Kansas City made it because of Patrick Mahomes and Pacheco. I would say Detroit and defense. And Detroit made it because I would say Jahmyr Gibbs, St. Brown.
Their offense is ridiculous.
They're all factors, and they're all good players, but none of them were first-round picks. Sam Laporta was the highest drafted of these 4 at 34, and he's probably the worst of these 3-4. He's a great player. I'm not knocking him. But the point
Sam Laporta wasn't the first tight end taken off the board.
Exactly. So it's not like I understand Brock Bowers is billed as this generational talent at fucking tight end, but he was also on arguably the best college team of the past 2 or 3
Yeah,
years.
and
Like
and I'm
that
also
is a
not
factor.
I'm also not saying that a guy is going to a good tight end is not going to win a Super Bowl. What I'm saying is they're not going to carry their team to a
And,
Super Bowl.
and what we're saying too is you can get better at 15. Like I understand, I'm not. None of us have said Brock Bowers is a bad pick, but he's a bad pick at 15. If we get him
Yeah,
at fucking in the second round, yeah, dude, I'll take that. I'll run with it.
I also didn't say tight end doesn't matter, but we have 9 of them on our roster. We
two
have
fucking
9
men.
of them, and we have 4 of them that are starters that all have different tangibles. Every single one of them. It's just it's the idea that like you guys want to listen to the media because the media during the conference championship round hyped up the fact that all 4 teams had a good tight end. That's cool. Everyone wants to run with it. But tight end doesn't need to go at 15.
Yeah,
It doesn't because he needs to essentially have a Hall of Fame season for it to make sense.
yeah.
He would need to carry this team, and then we wouldn't have needed to re-sign Michael Pittman Jr. because then we would have had to make the focal point Brock Bowers, and he will never be the focal point of our offense. It's just not going to happen. And if he's as good as you all keep saying, he's gone at 15, before 15.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Like I think Brock Bowers can if he is that guy, I say you trade back for him, not take him at 15.
Yeah.
I think there's other ways to impact the game rather than going tight end. I just think that if you make that pick at 15, the guy better be a day one impact. He better be involved every game. He has to be elite, damn near 14 out of 17 games, 13 out of 17 games, something like that.
Unguardable.
He has to absolutely be the guy.
Motherfucker better be
taking
Rob
that-
Gronkowski.
Yeah, it's just I get how good he was in college, but I just think it's a little bit different getting to the NFL. And again, I just think the fact that when everybody brings up the final 4 tight ends, literally none were first round picks, and it's just like if you love tight end, check Jatavion Sanders out of Texas, but that's just where I think like I just think there's just way too many other pieces to get at 15.
Again, bro. Like
sitting here
saying
saying we're not uninformed or saying we're not saying he's not elite.
he
We're
is
saying
elite.
it's a stupid pick at 15.
Yes.
Just
If we were picking
because you have a different sense of opinion doesn't mean you got to sit here and say we're uninformed. We're informed. We know exactly what you know.
yeah, you say don't believe none point. But
I'm-
if we were picking at 25, I'd be more liable to say, yeah, man, we'll
Sure.
take Brock Bowers in the late first round. He's not at 15. He's just not. That's I don't like the way that tight ends are going to transfer to the NFL going at 15 overall, man. You
Right
take him
here.
late first, early second, sure, but it's
This
a little
is where
too
I'm
high
at.
when you can get a guy like Burst or fucking Brian Thomas or Terry and Arnold or somebody like that will actually benefit the team from day one, like no doubt.
This is where I'm at. Brian Thomas, Adonai Mitchell, explosion. As I think about this type of offense to be able to open things up. I wish teams would try and press us like they used to in the past. But just man,
my bad, bro. My bad.
I just think that it's just so much explosion right there. I mean, like I think they fit exactly what we would need to do. Having one of those guys could also open up things more for Alec Pierce to show what he's capable of because we've seen flashes. He just isn't used enough.
He's always open. Yeah.
Yeah. So
and here's the other thing too. If we ended up taking Brock Bowers at 15, we're probably going to shake our heads. But if he ends up going off, then fine. You're going to see me cheering and being happy about it, and I will happily
wrong. Yeah,
I will happily admit that I was wrong on the show. I will happily admit it because guess who didn't want Anthony Richardson last year? Guess who debated with everyone about Anthony Richardson? This guy. I remember being on this show arguing with DeMarco about Anthony Richardson. But guess who was not unhappy when we drafted him? This guy.
As soon as they put on that Colts blue, man, we're on their side, bro. We're not just ignorant haters like sticking to ego or anything, but yeah, man, it feels too early for a tight end.
I'm the ignorant hater. Don't take a tight end. Don't take a tight. No, I'm just kidding. Look, man, I told all you guys, anybody in a Colts jersey, I want you to go crazy. I want them to go off. So if we take Bowers for the first few seconds of that draft, I'm gonna be so mad.
And then it's like, all right, let's go, bro.
He'll mute his screen and then he'll go high.
And then next day after that, I'll be getting prepared to maybe buy his jersey. We'll see how he works out.
Hey, don't buy his jersey. Paul Nelson's gonna buy us one. Remember, he says right here.
Oh yeah.
We
Paul
gonna hold that
to his jersey. So got that on the way, as a matter of fact. And then we just go from there. So I just think there's so much like if you watch film of Adonai Mitchell or Brian Thomas Jr., you just think of the upside and the capabilities. I mean, hell, even if we went cornerback in the first round and we pull
Corley?
No, not Corley. God damn it. Why am I forgetting his name? Other receiver out of Texas. Speedster.
Worthy.
Worthy. Even if we go Xavier Worthy in the second round, if we were able to, like, that's why I said I would hope we would trade up to like the 30s. Xavier Worthy is more than just a speedster. He's a route runner. So just want to make sure we know that. Like,
I'll say this.
I'm watching
He's
a lot
just
of
a
tape.
60.
I'll say this.
Yeah,
in the last,
I mean, he's light, but he's a route runner too. So I watch all of it, and me, man, I just want to see it.
Since we started this show back in 2019, Ballard has only taken one person that I wanted pre-draft. One person. All right.
Who's that?
Jonathan Taylor. He was the only person that I was I want Jonathan Taylor. And I remember y'all were worried.
Pittman Jr.
Y'all were worried. Y'all were worried because of the Wisconsin, how they overused their running backs. And I just wanted him because his college reel, bro, was so fire. And I was like, good, this dude is insane. I would absolutely love to have him. And then we drafted him, bro. And I was hyped. I don't think I was hyped about any other pick.
I was mad when we took Pittman Jr.
You know who I wanted? I wanted Justin Jefferson.
Paul, I need you to go watch
That's
the
what
tape.
I wanted.
I need you to watch the tape on Worthy. They are completely different. John Ross was just a speedster. Worthy can really run routes. I need you to go watch the tape, my guy.
I remember watching that draft in the first round, and I was like, I want Justin Jefferson. And then I was sitting there watching because I remember the Eagles passed on Justin Jefferson. They took that damn scrub that I don't even think is on the roster anymore.
I don't even remember his name.
Rager.
Can you imagine, dude? Rager. Can you imagine?
And then I was getting hyped because it was getting close to our pick. But then Justin Jefferson was off the board, which is why I think that was who Chris Ballard wanted, was Justin Jefferson. But when he got off the board, we traded back into the second round, and that's when we picked MPJ.
Hey, the only pick that I know Ballard was truly pissed he didn't get, and DeMarco said it last year, was when Tyreek Woolen got selected by the Seahawks, because they did that with the next pick. And you can see Ballard. You can see Ballard was pissed because Woolen got taken off the board like the pick before us, and I think we ended up going out like Pierce immediately after.
I mean, Woolen.
Yeah, I want to say he also was pissed off that Jordan Love got traded up and taken by the Packers, so he was pissed off about that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the outrage though if we would have picked him at that time, just like Packers fans were mad? Jordan Love. Bob saying now it paid off.
Nah, I don't think they would have been. I think they would have been upset because he would have finally addressed quarterback. So I don't think it would have been.
Yeah, but just from like Jordan Love was viewed as like this. He was viewed like Zach Wilson. Like, why the fuck is this guy being looked at so high? Like,
viewed like Justin. I thought for sure Ballard was going to move up and get Justin Fields.
We were doing the show when Jordan Love, and I remember I was so mad that everybody was hyping up Jordan Love. I was like, this dude plays for Utah.
No, BYU.
And BYU, but he was getting whooped by teams like Utah. Like he was like 19. He was like 9
played at Utah State.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh, sorry, you're right. My bad.
Utah State. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Trying to trash BYU for
my bad. He seemed like a BYU quarterback.
I think wasn't who was it? Was it
Zach Wilson?
Danny? Yeah, Zach Wilson.
Probably why in my head. Yeah.
No, and I remember Jordan Love. I remember he was like 19 touchdowns and 22 interceptions that year, and everybody was like, well, the year before, and I was like, yeah, when he had all these damn weapons that got drafted, the dude needs a team around him to be successful.
I mean, he's
We
winning
didn't have
now.
that at
Yeah,
the time
yeah,
either.
he's winning now.
I mean,
man.
either.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's winning now.
I mean,
man.
he just killed the Dallas Cowboys. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Props to him. They,
I
they were
mean-
right. They were
I mean,
right.
he got
It's
the.
the
I mean, he got
Cowboys.
the time to develop there. We do got to admit that
Yep,
if he would have
yep.
came to Indy, he would have expected to be the
Exactly.
guy pretty much in his second year.
Yeah.
So it would have been a little bit
getting
different.
from Texas and all, Paul, we ain't
yeah.
getting Arch. AR's going to be too successful for that.
I think we need to stop with this arch love, man. Just because his last name is Manning, I know we do the same thing with Marvin Harrison Jr. because his dad was a Colt, but Arch Manning is about to sit on the bench for another season. We need to stop acting like just because we love guys that are former Colts player or their dads were former Colts player, or family member, whatever.
It's just his
That
name,
we
bro.
want that guy. Like he might not be good in college, man. We gotta face the facts.
Drake Wally says, "What
Drake
do you
Wally-
think could help Pierce get to his potential? A healthy AR, dude is a
You said
hell of
it.
a blocker, but is
You answered-
underwhelming as a pass catcher."
You answered your question. Here's the
AR.
thing: healthy AR, right? And the reason why he's a terrible pass catcher is because he's passing catches in areas that he's not used to. Right? He's a deep threat guy. He's not a guy that's going to do a comeback route or a quick curl or a catch in the middle of the field. That's not who he is. He doesn't do the contested catches. He's a down the field guy. Run that skinny post and launch it.
And he's open.
And you've seen him do it. He'll catch that ball down the field over his shoulder. He's just not going to turn around and catch it. That's not what he does.
He's
so
not
with a healthy, he's not Pittman. So with a healthy AR bombing it to him downfield, I truly think that's what's going to make everybody like him.
Brother, if you go on YouTube, you can watch so many highlights of just
See you later, Zach.
AP being wide the fuck open. And Gardner was just later, Zach. He was so limited that he could not get the ball to him. But that's no fault of Alec Pierce. If he's open, he's open. He's open. You know what I mean? Like he can't throw himself the ball. So I do think Alec Pierce is going to be a much improved weapon as long as AR stays healthy.
I like Pierce. Look at everything he does when he's going downfield. Like,
yeah, man.
It was even when we had Matt Ryan in there. Like when Matt Ryan was throwing the ball down the field to him, he was catching it, contested and everything. It's got to be downfield. He's got to just be running down the field to do it. He can't
That's
be
where he excels. Yeah,
he can't be running to the middle of the field.
So let him do that. Like Pittman's between the numbers. Pittman's
Josh Downs between the numbers.
Josh Downs,
tight ends.
That's fine.
Yeah.
AP can specialize in that. That could be he's like Tyler Lockett, bro. Just send him out there. He's gonna go get it. But you just let him do what he does. You can't ask Tyler Lockett to be DK Metcalf. You know what I mean?
And remember, he was wide open against Houston on that sideline route that he had, and Minshew just didn't pull the trigger.
Yep.
He didn't pull the trigger.
Let it go, man. But Gardner was back there acting like he was, in a highlight tape trying to dance around and everything.
Hey, Keogh is saying there's no one talking about Joe Milton. I think he could be fired if put in the right situation. I wanted him to be AR's backup. I've talked about that a couple times. I know most people don't really like it. I think he is inaccurate as hell, but I just think that his intangibles, his similar abilities to AR are very fitting. Just like I said about Caden Slovis, and everybody laughed at me in here. But I just think that if you can find similarities in your backup quarterback, we can't expect Joe Flacco to be our backup forever. So, and obviously Sam is not our guy. So I just think that that'd be a good one.
Now we haven't talked since we signed Joe. What I know it's not a huge deal, but what kind of impact do you guys think Joe Flacco can have on AR, just as far as his veteran? Now he's talked before, he's not really a mentor or whatever, but I do feel like just seeing his routine and seeing how he goes about things and the fact he's been able to have a long career, it might help AR in that sense, in like preparing for games and how he treats his body and everything. What do y'all think?
I think he can help AR by staying on the bench and sleeping.
So this is what I think. I think Joe Flacco has the right mindset. He's not coming in here to be a mentor. Like he says it all the time, and people rip him for it. It's not the backup quarterback's job to it's not the backup quarterback's job to be a mentor. He says it just comes natural, right? And I essentially think that that's what makes him a good backup. Is that he's going to do things that AR is going to see, and he's got years of experience.
Yep.
Years of experience. Now,
that's
do we think it was always good experience? No, I don't. I don't think he was always good. I think
we remember those Jets years, Broncos.
Yeah. But I do think that it's going to be a good for AR to see how he prepares, rather than seeing how a Gardner Minshew prepares. You know what I mean? I think there's a huge difference in experience and preparation between Gardner Minshew and a Joe Flacco.
hit the hammer on the head, bro. Because that's exactly how I feel like. I like Gardner. It was a fun year and everything. I'm glad he's gone though. Like that
Yeah,
dude
no, I'm
is
done with the Gardner stuff.
too cool for school, right? Like probably the coolest guy you ever hang out with, but I can't imagine he's like a super detailed, like getting prepared for games and everything. And Joe Flacco is that guy, so maybe AR can pick up some healthy, study habits, some preparation habits, whatever it may be.
I think it also might be some, hey man, just don't care. Go out there and fling it. That's a lot of ways.
Literally.
That's why they called him Joe Cool. I mean, he'll go
Yeah.
out there and throw 3 picks and keep slinging
Right.
it.
He don't give a
tell him
shit.
like,
He'll
hey,
throw-
don't think about that last one. Just keep gunning. Keep throwing the ball.
Yeah.
Yep. So Nathan here says, why not get Gilmore to help Kenny Moore? I mean, I think Gilmore is really the only person out there that I'm okay with bringing back that we let go. Just because, it's not even to help Kenny Moore. It's essentially to help these young guys because Stephon Gilmore's been around the league and he's seen a lot of stuff and he's smart. Same situation. Preparation.
I got into some real beef over Rock Ya-Sin.
I like Rock Ya-Sin. I like Rock Ya-Sin.
I like
Do you?
I would have kept
did.
it.
So when we did the show, I think when we cut him, we started doing the show again, right? When we cut him,
It was around then.
and I just want to say that I liked Rock. I just think he needed to learn the time and place because the only time he ever got those stupid fucking penalties when he was playing aggressive was against quarterbacks that always get those calls, like the Aaron Rodgers, the Patrick Mahomes, the Tom Brady's. Those guys they always get those calls. And those were the games that he would play. He would play extremely aggressive in those games, and those would be the ones where he'd get those stupid holding calls or the stupid PIs downfield. But I loved his aggressiveness. I loved Rock Ya-Sin. I didn't want to trade him for Yannick. I hated that trade. I really did. I did.
I hated all the PIs that he did. That would cost us a lot.
So did I, but I essentially hated it.
I
hated it because it was against quarterbacks that always get those calls.
He made those mistakes.
Those are the ones that you would see in the playoffs. I just felt like he always had that issue, and people argued against me. He cleaned it up with Baltimore and yada yada yada. I'm like, bro, he played behind 2 All-Pros, so he really didn't get to see the field much in Baltimore, and I don't know. I'm just not a total fan of it. I guess I would take him back as needing a vet corner at this point, but I wasn't the biggest fan.
You're not wrong, and he made those mistakes. But I saw with Matt in the sense that like he had that aggressiveness. He would go after the ball. He would try to make those plays.
I would take him. I would take him over the guys we had last year. Season.
Over Jones and Brents.
Maybe not Jones, but I would take him over Brents and Baker.
I like
Jalen Jones.
I think I could play about as well or as better than Baker. I might tear my hamstring in one.
It's a low bar,
I think Jalen Jones was the steal of the draft last year, and I think moving forward he's just going to keep getting better. I think Juju. I think he just left a bad taste in my mouth with. I really feel like he quit on us week 18, and I was not happy about that. So
he got smoked, but I still believe in him long term, man. I think he's going to be good. But maybe he just doesn't have that dog like Jalen Jones does, bro. I don't know.
So Paul's asking, are we done with free agency? Free agency just started, man. This is only week 2, so I really don't think,
bro. Plenty of time.
I really don't think it's over yet.
Hey, hold on, real quick. Just want to say something out because Drake Wally had to get off here, but he left us a message. I'm not gonna say out loud what he said or whatever, but we definitely appreciate you coming on the show, man. No ill will at all. I think that Matt definitely appreciated the back and forth with you. I let him know that you do have you have a podcast yourself and whatnot. So we all try and be informed as possible. We love hearing other opinions. So definitely appreciate you coming on. Matt will take a look at that in a minute when he can.
What did he message us on?
I don't know if it was to me or if it was to Kicking with the Crew, but if it was to me, I'll let you know later. But just want to say we do appreciate you coming on, man. He loves the show and whatnot.
Man. Yeah, we love to be over here, bro. Hey, come on sometime. We'll debate live, bro. It ain't no thing. We always debate.
Yeah, I'll hit him up and stuff and get his info and see if he wants to do that at some point because I know he does his own thing as well. But just want to say we appreciate you, man, for real. So
I see it. Yeah, bro, you good? You good? Yeah, I misread.
Ain't nothing, bro.
That's all. You good?
We fight all the time, bro. It ain't no thing.
But yeah, go ahead, Matt, with the free agency.
I don't think we're done yet. I think there's too much time left in free agency. There's too many people still left out there, man. There's too many good quality players that we could still bring in. And we essentially still have 20 million cap sitting there. Just I really don't feel like Ballard is done. That's why I'm not fully upset yet. Like, come on, there's still Justin Simmons out there. Like,
Still time.
dudes are still out there. So
I
It's-
personally, I think, oh my bad, Trev.
No,
wanna
you good. Go ahead.
Okay, I was just gonna say, I personally think we're done with free agency until after the draft. I got my hopes pretty high before, but I just think that like we're about to hit April pretty soon here. I highly doubt we sign anybody until after we go through the draft, unless somebody is just crazed to come here and take a visit and whatnot, see the guys, talk to them and whatnot. But I think we're done with free agency until after the draft.
I mean, I really don't know. I don't think we're done by any means. I think we just all got so wrapped up in this whole Snead talk, which is why we're a little frustrated that no move was made, and we see our division rivals making moves. So that's the frustration of it. But by no means are we done, man. Free agency lasts quite a while. We still got a good time before.
it was just the rumors that frustrated everybody.
Yeah. It's just like, man,
if those rumors never happened, I don't think we'd be having the same type of conversation.
Exactly. I agree.
Yeah, our co-host Zach had to hop out of here, but he said he commented back in here and said Alex is going to be the next Hines Wards. I damn sure hope.
Give me that.
Drake Wally is saying just at the Raiders game, dudes was open, but Gardner couldn't throw it open. But even if Flacco has a rocket arm, I agree, boys. Always good shit on here. Appreciate you. He also said that he had to hop off, but appreciate you guys bitching with me about tight ends. He's just partial to Bowers, but Philly, we're saying here, props to Matt. He is a beast. Appreciate you, man. Jose Ortiz is saying just knowledge of the game. I don't know what that one
what Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco being a backup. Yeah.
Okay,
agreed.
gotcha.
Agreed. 100%.
Most definitely. Paul Nelson is saying we should never not let Gilmore go because he played the best in Bradley's defense.
Yeah.
Paul is saying Juju would have been really good.
He's going to be.
Is saying Xavier Howard only one bad year, a monster at turnovers. Yeah, I also got bitched at about this one in the chat when I brought it up because everybody said he's old and he's washed.
No, I
had the opposite. No, not you guys. I meant on the Twitter chat. But a bunch of people were like calling me out on that one, saying that we shouldn't get him because I thought that we shouldn't have gone Rock. And we get a vet like Xavier Howard, but people thought he was old and washed and whatnot. But
Colts fans have this weird habit of like getting super attached to former Colts players. And don't get me wrong, I would take back Rock, but I don't know. Colts fans do this weird thing where like if you ever put on the horseshoe, man, it's like we just want you back. We want you. They're all Chris Ballard in that sense, bro. Like just re-sign everybody, bring them all back.
Or if you're from Indiana, you got to come to Indiana.
Yeah, bro. It's like come on,
Indiana.
Man.
No, the other thing about a lot of Colts fans too is that they get obsessed with these guys that they feel like we can revitalize their career, and we're not in a position for that. Like, we need somebody to come in here and revitalize us. Like, we shouldn't be here trying to revitalize anybody. Like,
we don't need to be the crutch for anybody no more. Man.
Yeah,
we
did
that with Rivers. We did that with Ryan. Like, we don't need to keep doing it with anybody, bro.
Hey Drake, what was your what show were you with? Because I'm my bad, my memory is just shot with names and stuff like that. So what show were you with? But yeah, so that's where I was at. I thought Xavier Howard would have gave us a lot more as far as being a vet cornerback. And I said, hell, even if he didn't need to play, just him being in that room, he could give so much. So
absolutely,
that's just where I was at.
Yeah,
Paul would like to hear our take again on 15. Which way are we going? Paul, I think me and Matt are in the same area with we would go defensive end first, cornerback second, and then from there you go wide receiver. I don't know if Trev is feeling the same on that, but I think most of us on this show are all feeling in the same breath that you would love to go defensive end unless you have like an Arnold there, Quayon Mitchell, Nate Wiggins, somebody like that at corner. But I think we would all love to have Dallas Turner, that edge rusher, or verse.
Now I believe Dallas Turner is going to likely be gone, and I don't see us trading up at all. Yeah. So I'm looking at Jared Verse there. I'm looking at Nate Wiggins there. I'm looking at Terry and Arnold. I would love to get there. If those guys are gone, and those are like probably my main three right there. If those guys are gone, that's when I look at probably Brian Thomas Jr. or someone of that caliber, right? But yeah, I definitely agree. I would love to get a guy like Jared Verse right there. I think that'd be a crazy good pick.
God, I hate that.
Especially with which we hadn't mentioned yet, but especially with Kwity Paye's 5th-year option and what we're looking at with that, whether we bring him back or let him walk, whatever the case may be. So we have some possible movement at edge. So yeah, I would love to get a guy like Jared Ferguson out.
And as far as Kudipe's 5th-year option goes, I'm pretty sure we would have him for this year, but he would become a free agent in 2025 if we do not pick up the 5th-year option by May 2nd, I believe was the date.
I think that's right.
So it's pretty much just deciding. I'm pretty sure if we drafted somebody like a Dallas Turner, I do not think we'd be picking up that option or a verse or something like that. Just kind of depends on the competition. But I think if we didn't get a defensive end at all, I think
then you probably decline.
I think at that point you'd probably pick up the option,
or right,
just to have him just in case. So
I agree with that. And we had not even really a debate, but we had talked about a little bit earlier in our group chat just about Quiddy's overall performance. Man, it's like he has been solid for us, but he has not been the guy that we thought we were getting when we drafted him. Right? We thought we were drafting this guy that was just going to be raw prospect at first and turn into this monster, and he's been solid. He gave us 8.5 sacks last year. He's always pretty good in the run game, but he's just that, right? Like he's just good or okay. He's not a monster.
I'm not about the sacks, man. I'm not about the sacks because we're clearly getting it without the pressure. It's the pressure we need because quarterbacks having all day to throw on us.
Yep.
Is what's crazy to me. And yeah, we've been getting sacks, but we're getting sacks because you got DeForest Buckner blowing up the interior of that offense.
Crew, yeah.
And then the cleanup crew comes in. What I want that what's now our cleanup crew to be the crew pushing these quarterbacks up into the pocket to get DeForest to just eat them up. Like that's what I want, man.
And it's kind of backwards right now.
That's the only thing I'm not getting from Quiddy. And it's like, but then you get the reason our edge pressure just bothers me so much. It's not even essentially that we're pushing him in the pocket. It's the fact that we're letting them out of the pocket. And then you get those absurd plays that CJ Stroud was making where he's just throwing the ball up in the air 20 yards away from a receiver, but he put it up there so high, like hang time was enough for Nico Collins to get there. It's just ridiculous. Plays like that shouldn't be getting made outside the pocket.
Yeah,
they shouldn't be. And that's my only issue with how our edges are playing right now. If Quiddy can come in next year and close that, like, great.
We're good. Yeah.
If not, you're finna lose your job to Tyquan Lewis because he's really good at keeping that edge, sealed.
Now, what we did see a little bit, and this goes hand in hand with what you're asking here, Drake. What we did see a little bit last year was Deo Odangbo starting.
You want to read that out, Trev?
Yeah. So Drake here says, "Do you guys think Indy needs a dominant pass rusher? Fans have seemingly lost faith in Quiddy as a pass rusher. Absolutely, man. Any team that wants to win at a high level needs a dominant pass rusher." And I have a hint of optimism for Deo Odangbo. We saw him really start to step into that role last year. Numbers aren't crazy yet, obviously, but we saw flashes, right? We saw like, hey, this guy might have something. So coming to this next year, that's something I'm looking for, especially if we don't get an edge at 15. I need to see either him or Quiddy step up. Otherwise, it's like we have a hole there now. If neither of these guys step up and take that job and take that role, we have a hole there, and we need to.
Here's my only complaint about this, right? And we do this every year, and I think I've said this a couple times on the show in the last few months. Not sure if Trev was here or not, but we do this for literally every single edge rusher that we've had. We did it for Quiddy. Last year was Quiddy. We said in the offseason, we said this should be Quiddy's year.
Yeah,
you're right. We all were making projections on what kind of sacks he was going to make, what kind of pressure rates he was going to have, or that he should have, because this year should have been his year. Because the year prior, he was showing flashes of that. And then when we noticed Quiddy wasn't doing it, it was coming from Deo. Now we're sitting here, we're like, well, maybe Deo is going to be the one to take that step. And I'm just so tired of hoping that players become what they were supposed to be when we drafted them. That, like, I just need someone to come in here and be like what we know they're going to be like, and they're going to do it. Like, that's essentially where I'm at, because every time we get these guys to finally develop, Chris Ballard's lets them walk, and then we're starting all over again. And I'm just
tough, man.
appreciate you, Paul. Paul saying he's out. He loves the podcast. Mark my words. Bauer jersey's on the way. Hey, I'd love a free jersey, so that'll be the one thing I'm rooting for with Bowers. But I will say, to this point, Matt stole the words right out of my mouth, man. This a whole thing. Like, we love for guys to, when they get drafted, we want them to work out. We want them to be those guys. The problem is we haven't seen very many guys since like a Shaq Leonard really just get drafted and then turn up
Boom.
and be another level in JT. Those two type of guys, we haven't seen too many of those. I think that's also one of the things that starts to kind of waver with us is because we want to hold out hope for those guys to be a guy. So Drake, to really answer your question is I would say even if we don't get a dominant pass rusher, even though I think we need one, because I had a lot of faith in Quiddy. I thought he was going to turn up and be that 13 sack type of guy because he had the pressure rate coming out. I think we either need to bring in the competition for him. We have to do something to light a fire underneath him to get him to be that guy. Just because that's how much faith we had in him. But also I agree with Matt. Like it's just got to be a certain point where you got to take it to that next level.
Yeah.
We expect some of these picks to be that next level. And that's also why I'm really a guy who really likes the idea of one of those first round receivers because they can be so explosive. So it's like we need to get back to a point where some of these picks start to give us that brand that we're used to seeing back in the day from the Colts, or some that we see around the league where you're like, look at this guy taking off in the league. So that's where I'm at with that, man. I think like we would hope Quiddy would work out, but at some point, you got to start saying like you're just not.
Bro, at some point we got to stop being hopeful. And I know it's funny because I'm like probably the most hopeful person in this podcast. I'm always trying to be optimistic, but like, man, it does. You're 100% right. It does feel like every year we're like, man, this should be this guy's year. He should go out and do this, that, and the other. And then when he does it, it's like, well, we got this other guy in the wings. Maybe it'll be his turn. And it does get tiring. It's like I want to see a guy just be that guy.
Yeah, there's literally one player on our roster that I'm hopeful for, that I feel like I need to be hopeful for, and that's Alec Pierce. And the reason it's Alec Pierce is because this last year was his sophomore year, right? His rookie season, he showed flashes, but then he got a bad break in his second year, and everyone's giving up on him. Like, dude, that was his sophomore year in the NFL. And he had to play with a backup quarterback who doesn't have a strong arm.
Yeah.
So how do we not be hopeful about this guy still going into his third year? You know what I mean? Like, it just
most improved player this year.
He's still, I still call him the next Jordy Nelson. I've been holding out hope for Pierce, man.
I like it.
I just think that the way that have used him is almost like one of these situations that the NFL does with NFL quarterbacks. They bring him in, say, this is the guy. We're going to get him no help. He needs to lead the franchise. And then they get him no help. And then he looks like he sucks. And they're like, oh, trade him out, ship him out. I feel like that's how we treat
bro.
Yeah, that's how we treat Alec Pierce. We tell you, run 50 go balls a game. We're gonna throw you one, maybe two, if the quarterback decides to, and then everybody's gonna scream you suck and you're not a guy. So that's how I feel that we treat Pierce.
I agree. He's the guy that I feel like is just going to go off, and I hope he does.
Bank on it.
I'd love to see it, but we
That's
also
KWTC.
I think
pick, bro.
I'm also getting pretty high on Deo as well. I know that this is actually one of the defensive ends that me and Matt had the conversation about because he was coming off the injury, so he is still a year behind on that development trial. And so
now,
thinking he can still come up to another level this year. So
I felt like we could replace Tyquan Lewis, but at the same time, I'm high on Tyquan Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been high on Tyquan Lewis, and you guys know that since we drafted him. I've always liked Tyquan Lewis. So even moving forward with him, I feel like him getting more snaps, because he got 37% of snaps last year. If he gets more snaps, I think he's going to be solid.
Yeah, I mean he's always solid as a rotational piece. He's always solid, man. You always see.
Well, last year was his first real healthy year, so
it is.
It was his first real healthy year last year. He got 37% of the snaps, and his numbers weren't
played
terrible.
well in those snaps.
I felt so bad for that guy, man, because he was playing so well, and then to just cut your season off, getting an interception, and then ending up with an injury. I felt so bad for that dude, and he stuck through it and kept working with it, and Ballard talked him into staying in Indy. So I also agreed that he could have, felt like could have.
Yeah, see this.
I do appreciate having a guy like Tyquan. So
it's really interesting.
Yeah, Drake Wally is saying here. Fun fact here: Tyquan Lewis had more pressures, 44, than Kwity Paye's 28 on less pass rush percentage. Kwity Paye has 410. Tyquan Lewis had 259 pass rush attempts. Paye isn't a pass rusher. And so, we had this conversation earlier in the chat as well, just because Matt didn't feel like he was all the way. you guys know the meme. You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy. You know, so that's
Quiddy.
what he was feeling about
That's what
Quiddy.
we like.
And me and Trevor on the other end, like, yeah, he's solid. He gives you X, Y, and Z as far
He's
as
solid.
you know,
but he's
some of the
not
numbers, a
good.
good run defender. But yeah, he's that guy that you're like, okay, you need this piece just to play here, but can you upgrade from him? Probably.
In my opinion, Tyquan Lewis should be the starting edge rusher, and Kwity Paye should be the rotational piece.
I mean, these numbers back that up.
I mean, I think
argue
if
with
you
the
don't
numbers.
the way our draft
37% of the snaps. So if you give Kwity Paye or you give Tyquan Lewis those 410 snaps, do the numbers, man.
Yeah, I was just
That's
about
almost
to say
double. That's 80 something pressures.
The way our mock draft just shook out, if we don't take a defensive end early, I think that's exactly the way it should be to light that fire under Kwity. Because if that don't light it, if that don't light it, you gotta be out, bro.
And the other thing is, Tyquan Lewis proves every time he's on the field, ain't no quarterback rolling out on him.
Yep,
that's true.
No quarterback is rolling out on him.
He seals that edge.
Great edge setter.
They are not running those slant those running back slants off the edge. Yep, they ain't running nothing. Nothing's going off of his edge. It ain't happening. So you know what? I was a little upset that we re-signed him. Thought he was replaceable. I retract that statement. I think Tyquan Lewis is probably our best re-signing of the offseason, in my opinion.
I mean, he's not the
besides Michael Pittman. Besides the clear.
But he's a good one. He's a good one. I agree.
Besides the clear obvious of Michael Pittman.
Yeah, best like low key signing. I agree with that
for sure. But appreciate all you folks for coming through tonight. We're gonna wrap it up here. Perfect time. We want to shout out to ZTV as always. Joey, I seen you in the comments earlier. Appreciate all you guys.
Thank you.
Like I said, scan that QR code. We are kicking with the crew. Go check out our merch, everything on there. Keep supporting us. We appreciate all the viewers. We keep exploding more and more every week. Got some reactions in there. We are on Instagram Live. Oh, I apologize because we had a couple viewers on there as well. No comments though. So, okay, I didn't miss anybody. I'll be forgetting to check that. But yeah, we are on Spotify, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, Facebook, Apple Music, YouTube. Please check us out everywhere. Like, share, subscribe. We're going to keep giving you guys more. We love to respond to you guys. So appreciate everybody's comments coming in. Appreciate you guys, man.
All right, go Colts.
Go Colts, man.
Stay conservative, run the ball here on third down. Here's Richardson. He takes it in for his first NFL touchdown. And Pittman takes it inside the 20, the 10, towards the end zone. Touchdown on 2nd and 28. The Colts capitalize. Richardson to Pittman, 39 yards.